Hello and welcome to Jason Cavness Experience. I'm your host, Jason Cavness. I'm also CEO founder of Cavness HR. At Cavness HR, we do HR for Cavness 49-year-old people, the AI-empowered platform that automates HR while providing access to a dedicated HR business partner. This is the latest edition of our Jason Cavness Experience Ho Chi Minh City edition, powered by Earth VC. Earth VC is on a mission to unfuck the Earth. They're doing this by supporting breakthrough scientific research, empowering outlier founders to build enduring climate business, and invest in high growth startups that decarbonize the world. Our guest today is Will James. Will, thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much, man.
So, Will, I used to start with like what's called a softball question, right?
Perfect.
So, how do you take care of yourself, like medically, physically, spiritually? Like, how do you take care of yourself, whatever that might mean to you? Or, as a better question, how do you not take care of yourself?
I think I've been quite blessed. I have good genetics, and in terms of like physically, it's very almost impossible for me to get fat. And so I can basically eat whatever I want. I've always been pretty active, played sports, for a few years did Muay Thai. I haven't done that for a bit, but so physically, no worries. Mentally, I'm blessed to have my family here. So I live around my family. So I'm constantly, hanging out. Have a great group of friends. So, and I like to read and stuff. So that keeps me grounded and, so I've never, just lucky guy. Never really had to
Life
worry
is
about
good
that.
right now.
Life has always been good.
Yeah.
Truthfully,
Yeah.
To be fair, I do empathize with people who do have like mental disorders, because I did have like pretty bad anxiety growing up, but this is a great learning experience, and you can overcome stuff like this. It really empowers you, that you feel.
So when was the last time you did, how do you say Muay Thai?
Muay Thai?
When was the
Yes.
last time you did that? The last time you did that?
I think like 2 months ago. Me and my brother used to do this.
So I did my first one on Monday.
Oh, how was it?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was my first day. And so they probably another person, that person's first day. I think it must be a 16-year-old, 5'1" Vietnamese girl. It was so funny, right?
Okay. You guys do sparring or something, or what?
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
that's really that. We did 1-2 punches and stuff, kicks and stuff,
Yeah. How'd you feel?
Next day, my back still hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I tweaked something,
Yeah, exactly. Did you feel like, like, because it's really cardio based.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you want to throw up or anything
No.
like this? No. Lucky
No.
guy. Oh, you
Yeah.
must be
I'm not a
active guy.
No, I'm not in shape at all. No.
Because even me, whenever if I take a break or something and then I go back to it, I will be
Yeah.
having like
Definitely fast paced.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So whenever I have like a friend who's got like weight problems or anything like this, I always recommend some type of martial art.
Yeah,
like
it's a lot of cardio. It was putting a storm up,
Oh my God. And it's like, yeah, cardio and legs are like the big ones for this.
I know one thing's a lot more fun than running.
Oh, exactly. So, like skipping
I would never
jump
do it.
rope.
I would never do a treadmill again.
Yeah, really boring. I don't know how they do it, but my father does this, but I don't know.
So have you fallen into the pickup ball craze in Vietnam?
I have not tried it.
You're about the only person I've met so far in all of Vietnam has done it yet.
In the world.
How are you holding out?
Just,
It's everywhere. Like we're in Tharding, just every day a new one pickup ball court pops up here.
I know. And even in the West, all my buddies play this. But what's funny is that I don't know, like I'm kind of like a hipster in a way, where it's like against the crowd, and like yeah, even my whole family hasn't done it. So like when the pickleball craze really picked up, we got into badminton. So it's like a little bit similar, but a little bit different. So we're like, oh, we're unique,
Yeah, I went to this pickleball tournament like a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. I have no concept of time no more.
Yeah.
But I finally saw the court, like, man, this is like tennis for lazy motherfuckers,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Lazy people, adult people. It's like so small. It's like you take 4 steps and like, I mean,
to be truth, I don't even know. I've never seen it being played.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what it is, but I assume it's like, yeah.
I mean, imagine a tennis court cut in half, smaller bracket, like a paddle board. I mean,
yeah. So it's like
I'm just skilled to the course, like anything else, but yeah, I don't see a workout.
Yeah, but it is very trendy.
Oh yeah, it's a hot thing right now.
Yeah, it's super hot. So I wouldn't personally invest in it. I wouldn't invest in like a pickleball court, because trends come and go very fast.
And like you say, if you have a friend that said they need to lose weight, I would not recommend pickleball.
Yeah, it does seem like for lazy. or I assume so, but all the best. You know,
Yeah.
like no worries if people are using that as a way to get
Mhm.
active or something. I think
Oh, so have a social life,
perfect. Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. So I've heard this. I've heard this is like a way for like
Mhm.
girls to meet like rich guys and stuff
Yeah.
like this. So it's
Those, yeah, there's a lot of pretty young girls there, a lot of guys there. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, all the best. That
Yeah.
sounds whatever works.
Yeah, I don't see me doing it though.
Yeah. I don't know. I would be down to get into tennis.
Hmm.
Um, Me and my family have been doing badminton. Like I say,
Yeah.
that's great. That's really fun. I used to think that was like a wussy sport, you know, like for yeah, but it's fun. And when you do it with your family,
Yeah.
little kids or you know, like elderly people. Just kidding.
And so, how long have you been in Ho Chi Minh City?
I think like 8 years,
8 years,
but in Vietnam, 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe longer than 8 years.
And you're originally from Canada.
Yeah.
And what part?
Ottawa, the
Ottawa.
capital.
Okay.
So small,
That's in the eastern part of Canada.
yeah, central, east central. I don't know the term, but yeah, relatively small. You know, like maybe a
So
million
is it
people.
true? I remember reading somewhere like 50, 80% of Canada is like actually below Detroit or something like that.
Probably,
Okay.
but I also remember like I never looked it up to see if it was true, but I also remember hearing that like my city is more north than most of Russia,
Mhm.
most Russian cities.
What?
So it's like Toronto.
Uh-huh.
Toronto is very close to America,
Okay.
and Toronto is like has totally different weather from
Mhm.
my place. My place is like 4 hours away, 4 hours driving from Toronto, but we get like -40 in the winter,
What?
Celsius. So I'm
Okay.
not sure what that is Fahrenheit.
Okay. I make sure it's cold.
Yeah, freezing.
And
And
it's
then
crazy, like on the like the warm up. Most people think everything's straight lines. Like I didn't realize this for the longest time. So I live in Seattle now. I always thought Boston's up above north of Seattle. Actually, Seattle's way farther up than Boston is, right?
really,
Yeah. Seattle's like the most northernmost part city, big city in the United States,
hmm.
even bigger than Boston, New York, all those
Oh
places.
yeah, because it does. Canada kind of like dips
Yeah,
down, and then yeah, okay, it makes sense. And but the West is completely different climate
yeah,
from what I'm used to.
yeah.
You guys get like I don't think you guys will have fires anytime soon. Right? You
No, we
think?
get fires in Seattle. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wildfires?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, I'm very sorry.
yeah,
But I said that like the climate is so wet, so damp.
yeah. But thing is, like, what's crazy is it rains so much that the grass and stuff is, like don't have to work for it, right? So,
Yeah.
a lot of places are like in the desert, the roots go way deep and get water everywhere.
Oh, okay, okay,
Here,
fair.
the water dries up, like within days, all the grass turns brown.
Hmm. And okay, so and do you guys get like really like dense grass and stuff? Like
Yeah,
people like big landscaping
yeah,
industry? Hmm.
yeah,
That's like my dream. That's like my dream life.
yeah.
That's cool.
So tell the story about how you decided to come to Vietnam, like all the random places. You can go to the States, another town of Canada,
I know.
Italy. Like why Vietnam?
Well, actually, it was like a little background. Like I studied anthropology in university, like as a bachelor's, because like everybody in Canada, especially where I come from, everybody has a degree. So your bachelor degree isn't that important, like because everybody has it. So it's pretty saturated. So I just studied like what I was interested in, and that's like other cultures. And I was hoping to do like international marketing, but I had never traveled. So when I finished my degree, my brother was living in Vietnam. He was working here, working in a university up in Hanoi. And so I just took like 3 months, you know, like I don't know what people do. Usually they go to Europe or something. I just took the 3 months to visit him. And it was like so different, like really like the Wild West. And especially like, yeah, like 10 years ago in Hanoi, it was like, yeah, I can't even describe it, but it was just very underdeveloped and but very cool. And people were super friendly and nice. Treated me great, you know. You meet lots of nice people. And so it was just matched my personality very well. And so I decided to stay for longer and then eventually moved to a beach city. And that was like, you know, I'm like 24 at the time, living on the beach.
Coming from Canada where there's no beach.
And that was like my lifelong dream was to live on a beach. So then I was like 24 and I was like, okay, I accomplished this goal. And it was like, like the funny thing though about this was that like after 1 week, it lost its novelty. So it
Yeah.
was like, I don't give a shit,
Yeah.
like beach, same thing. But there are,
Water comes in, water comes
yeah,
out.
exactly. Great. And it's like not like the sun doesn't set over the water. So it's like if you want to have like nice views and stuff, you have to like wake up super early.
Mhm.
So like for sunrise, it's very beautiful. To be fair, since I live there, it's developed quite a bit. It's very
This is Da Nang or someplace
Nha
else.
Trang,
Da Trang, okay.
Nha Trang. So and like people would always rag on it because it's like, oh, there's so many Russians and whatnot. But Russian people mind their business.
Mhm.
I mind my business. It works. It's perfect.
That's a good point. That's one thing about America's bad at is not minding our business, right?
Yeah.
Both as a country and individual. Here, everyone minds their business, right? Like everyone does their own thing, no
But I
one's out of
was,
pocket.
it's true. It's true. But one thing that I have noticed was like yesterday, my place flooded and I was on the elevator and this random family that I had never seen before was like, oh, your apartment, gave my apartment number. I was like, how, like later I thought back, I'm like, how would you know? How would you know where I live?
Mhm.
So, I hope people mind their business,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just like people often would, be like, oh, Russian people are not friendly.
Probably because of tone of voice, right? The way they speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Comes off very aggressive, very rude.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know if it's a compliment or an insult, but people always thought I was Russian.
Yeah.
They're like, and so anyway, yeah, so I lived there for like a year. I was the first I was like the contributor to the magazine, and then I asked to be the managing editor. And so I was like eventually just like scuba diving and going to spas and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
That's
Nice.
my work. And
And
then I
so
would write about it.
your brother's here first, right?
Yeah.
So do your brother say, hey, well, come join me? Or you're like, hey, big brother, I'm coming.
He was like, come check it out.
Mhm.
To be truth, I don't fully remember, but I do know that it was okay, like I'm gonna come live
Mhm.
with you for a few years.
Mhm.
First he was in Malaysia and then he got offered a job to live here. So it was like he had never planned to come here.
Mhm.
To be totally honest, I was not familiar with Vietnam. I'd seen like Apocalypse Now and stuff like
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
it's like that's like my reference point. For whatever reason, I never even Google imaged it.
Yeah.
So it was like totally new to me. And so when I arrived, I was like, oh,
Yeah. Well, I came in 2023. Like, so my friends tried to get me to come. I didn't want to come at first because in my mind,
right.
I was like, man, I don't want to go to like Vietnam. It was like Soviet Union back in the 1950s. I was thinking like black and gray skull,
Exactly.
like just bureaucratic, like someone watching you 24/7, but it had nothing to be farther from the truth.
Exactly. So like you say, people do mind their business. Like like if you have a problem or something, people will come help you.
Mhm.
But like, let's say there's a domestic dispute or anything like this, people mostly will
Mhm.
just turn the other cheek, like not my business. I
Yeah.
don't want to get involved. And this is I don't know. It's just
One thing that's crazy to me since I've been like 2 months or so far, like I'll walk down the street, random street, right? And someone just start a little fire, right?
yeah.
I like what like this is like they're not cooking nothing.
Are they burning money? Fake money?
I have no idea what they're burning. There's like different things, right? Sometimes be a pile of wood, sometimes a box. It's like
Yeah.
I like no wonder all this damn pollution here. Everyone's having these little random fires.
I think sometimes it's like for garbage disposal,
Mhm.
and I think sometimes it's like offerings to ancestors.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I
Yeah,
think so. So, yeah, at first it was like culture shock, and
like in the middle of this like nice homes and stuff, you start a
yeah,
fire. Like what's going on here,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And burning garbage is
Yeah,
pretty prevalent.
hmm
I'm not sure like the health.
that can be good.
I'm probably not. I drove through like a big
Mhm.
smoke storm of burning garbage to
Mhm.
come here. It was pretty nice smell.
Yeah. So one time I was walking around, I was somewhere just randomly, and I happened to be at the place in the river where I think it's called river dredging, where they dredge all the yuck stuff into
Yeah,
clean water.
yeah.
Like, man, this is fucking nasty right here.
It's yeah, it's brutal. And then, like a day later, it'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be like, so I just I want to caveat that like all this. I'm not saying like, whoa, like we need to become civilized people or whatever, like
Yeah.
just the natural progress of
Yeah.
things.
Because I had a lot of people tell me that Vietnam is like how Korea and Japan was 20 years ago, right? Like
I'm sure.
right when they're like we're in a good spot right now. We're at the beginning stages of all this stuff happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine. But like, you know, like Korea is like a super developed country,
Hmm.
but I've heard, you know, like I've heard like I forget the stat, but it's like 90% of women like deal with domestic
Yeah,
violence. Like they eat dogs and stuff. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, like you can develop.
yeah. So I was in Korea for 3 years in the army. We used to call it the land of the not quite right. Because like like you've been on the road, right? You see all these nice cars, Mercedes, BMWs, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going to happen? Why everyone goes so slow? There'll be a mama sign in the middle of the highway with a cart selling stuff, like with cars going over. Like, first of all, how did you get here?
Yeah.
You know, like you don't see all these cars rolling around. It should just be out there that's like selling stuff and people
Maybe it's
stop
like
and
an
get
old
it.
person
Yeah.
who's been doing that forever.
Yep.
So God, you know, God bless them.
Yeah. And Texas off the wall was off the wall there, you know.
Yeah.
That's the first place I moved there 2005. That's the place I've ever been where
2005,
yeah.
when you're in the military.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the first time a place I was buried where you could do the key coding to your house. I'd never seen that before. Just
yeah, it's pretty advanced,
blew
right?
my mind. Yeah.
Technologically.
All these big TVs on the top of the buildings and stuff. Like, what in the world is this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Internet. People don't realize how fast the internet here is in Asia either, right?
It's true.
Like in the States, man, it's like
It's true. It's true. And like, even like, you know, like interpersonally or culturally, there are advanced, there are certain things that are like advanced, like family. I don't know if family, I don't know if it's very common in Texas and whatnot to put old people in old age homes. It's very common in Canada.
yeah.
And it's just like, it seems like unethical. And
Yeah, it doesn't
they
happen
never
here.
do it here.
No.
Like just the grandparents live with the family. That seems ideal.
Yeah.
You know, so there's like, yeah, I think there's many things that they do better here than we do in the West.
So what are some things that you can tell people in the rest of the world? Like what's the misconception about Vietnam you think the world has?
Just like that is like a communist country, and so it's like very limiting. You know, like most expats that I meet and that I talk to will say like I have more freedom here than do back home.
Yeah.
So that's a big misconception. Also, that it's like you have to be like a dirtbag. You know, like even me, before I came here, it's just like, oh, like yeah, expat in Asia. It's like you must be like running from something or doing something bad, or you know, like. But I can at least speak from experience. I'm, you know, coming from a good family, not doing anything
Yeah,
bad.
I know every American I met often said the same thing. They feel way more free here than in the States.
For sure, for sure. And it's like you don't have to, you know, like you can. This is like a very entrepreneurial place.
Oh man, it's crazy how it is.
Yeah, and it's like Tim Ferriss, I believe, he coined the phrase lifestyle arbitrage. So you can be working from, you can be doing anything with clients in America or something, but like, you know, like good rent.
Of course, the key is like somehow get a U.S. salary,
Yeah,
and live here.
yeah, exactly. But it is possible.
Yeah.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. You know, so it is possible. And so it's just like another misconception is like you don't know what you don't know. So you know, you assume, maybe you have some assumptions about the lifestyle or something like this, and it's like, man, I've been here long enough where I know the lifestyle, and I know the lifestyle back home, and I would choose this. This is like better quality of life. And like, you know, like where I come from, it's like winter, at least half the year. So it's like my buddies are shoveling snow and like getting into cold cars in the morning. It's like, man, I'm living in a tropical.
So I know I might have been too long the other day. I woke in the morning, went outside at like 74 degrees. Man, it's kind of chilly.
Seattle, 4 degrees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Freezing. Yeah. And that's Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty cold out there. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's trade-offs to everything. Like, my buddies can go to Costco anytime they want.
Just make them out here. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but they don't have like Costco hot dogs. You know, or Tim Hortons.
I don't know. I think I'll pass up Costco hot dogs and Tim Hortons. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But like donuts.
Yeah.
I freaking miss donuts, man.
Well, it's not the same. There's a donut place like maybe 5-minute walk from here. It's not the same.
Really?
Though. Yeah.
Okay. Are you?
It's not like glazed donuts. It's like basically like a
like
round thing of wheat with like really good chocolate on it.
Okay.
But it's not like donuts like everything.
Yeah.
Like Krispy Kreme, nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly. Krispy Kreme.
If this is the closest thing to healthy donut I've ever had.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's all like artisan or something like,
Yeah,
oh, this is
exactly.
like organic donut. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's tasty though. I like the chocolate. Chocolate tastes good.
Well, I mean, it's like almost impossible to mess up
Yeah.
chocolate, you know? It's like pizza.
Yeah.
It's, like-
Yeah.
it's great, no matter what. But what about you? Like, were there misconceptions before you came here that you were shocked,
I mean, I
surprised?
just thought, like communist 1950 Russia,
Yeah.
there's nothing here,
No
like no
internet.
TV, no
Yeah, no
internet.
TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if I went outside, what are you doing here? Do you have permission? Where's your permission slip?
Yeah, yeah,
And I
exactly.
thought like, if you want to leave a certain neighborhood, that's everything's controlled. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I had no sense of how entrepreneurial was here, like no sense at all. Like the tech startups of things people are doing here,
My
like
goodness.
people are building like robotic arms with data links to people's nerves and stuff, It's
Exactly.
like,
And even like crypto or like anything like Web3, like
yeah,
people
that's the
are,
big here.
and like I think it's partly because of the communist thing.
Hmm.
So it's like they almost need to,
Yeah.
you almost need to find different ways to like get money in and out. So it's like,
Yeah. Like I had no idea how much they hustle here.
oh my
Like I tell my
goodness.
friends in the States, you might think a hustle. You have no clue what real hustling is unless you come here.
For sure. For sure. And it's like developed and it's like it's developed so fast. Like just as an anecdotal, like if you go to like if you go to like say the cinema and you get like local commercials. When I first came here, I was like, oh, brutal. This is like the worst commercial I've ever seen in my life. Now it's like on par with the West.
Yeah.
So within, and probably like it's been like that way for
Yeah.
like 5 years.
And like you see someone like it's like everyone has a business out their house,
Yeah,
and they might have a restaurant, nail salon, and I don't know
exactly.
something else, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
On top of the full-time 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, exactly. And it, like the grandma or something runs it, helps run it,
Yeah,
and it's like so everyone's helping
everyone
out.
contributes to the family, so to speak.
Yes, this is the way.
Yeah, one thing too, doesn't like they're really concerned about getting rich, right? Like America, they're like, well, let's get more money here. Like they don't make money; they just make enough to make a good living, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They were like in the States, we were the make much money as we can, and like no one don't have a social life. Here, like okay, we made enough to cover all our bills plus 10%.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out for 4 days and drink coffee and drink beer.
Yeah, exactly. Have a good time. And also in the like here, I think like people can now I don't want to be quoted, but like I think people can go from like poverty to wealth
Yeah.
relatively easily from the West.
Yeah.
Compared to the West.
Yeah.
The West is like it seems to be like a serious disparity.
Yeah, especially now. I mean, it's still be done right. You have to have luck, so to speak, and hard work. Now, overall, there's like we're talking about Ho Chi Minh City. It is hard in different places. Like, so I went to this Mekong River Delta tour maybe a week ago,
Yeah.
and one of the parts that they take you like this place, a brick factory, right? And man, it's like man, I mean, of course, you don't have to see them making bricks. You think in your mind, okay, making bricks is not
Yes.
easy work, right? And these jokers are making equivalent to $100 a month, right?
Yeah.
Like backbreaking work, right?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
It's brutal.
And there's like all the pollution in the air. You're like, yeah, it's
horrible. And yeah, that's so obviously there's like that's very sad. And so even like cleaners in the building, it's like my family will talk to them and it's like, oh, they make like $300 a month. And it's like I see that person like 12 hours a day, every day.
Yeah.
And
same with my building. Like, I don't know how much money she makes me. She's doing 24/7. Of course, they give a lot of room to stay,
Yeah.
I think there's like 15 like apartments in our complex. She thinks she cleans like 3 a week, she cleans mine like twice a day. I mean, twice a week. So she has a schedule. She's like the security guard too,
Yeah. I bet at least for these people, some people will tip them.
Yeah.
So they'll make money on the side. These people that work for like some company, so it's like the owner of that company will be getting rich.
Yeah.
Just so this was actually anecdotal, and I don't want to be like a white knight, but I had like a Airbnb management services company idea right before COVID hit, and I created a website. Still ranks for everything: Airbnb management Vietnam, Airbnb management Hanoi, and or like Saigon, HC, Ho Chi Minh City, and but it's just like the business model is like, it's not a good way to make money. Just because in order to make money, it would need like, okay, I need to I need to be managing a lot of places, and I would need to like hire really low pay people to do it in order for me to make money. And it's just like a disgusting business model. I mean, obviously, people do need to run a cleaning company, but it's like
I'm sure it's perspective too. Like I'm looking this up.
$300.
Like suppose the lady works in my building. Suppose she came to Ho Chi Minh City, right? And they offer like, let's say $400 a month. She might be like $400 a month. I'm not taking that, right?
Yeah.
Or someone coming from some rural area who's down on their luck. Like,
Yes.
man, I get you $400 a month plus a place to live. Plus I'm in Ho Chi Minh City.
I hope they do.
Like
Hope they get
I
a
take
place
this
to
down.
live.
Yeah.
But it's like, these people are quite old.
Mm-hmm.
And like, limping. One of the women is like limping. Mm-hmm. So it's like, damn, like so maybe for Ted, again, I don't want to like white knight.
So let's talk about Ted, right? This is my first Ted, right? I've heard like Ho Chi Minh City would be like a abandoned wasteland, no people, no pollution.
Could be.
Yeah.
I think more and more people, like, it used to be like this, but I think more and more people do stay. People like know that other people will be traveling a lot, so they will stay, and then maybe they'll see their family like on other days. But yeah, it used to be like a zombie land here. It was pretty cool. I actually, when I first arrived to Ho Chi Minh City, my family went to my brother's wife's hometown, central Vietnam, and so I just stayed here, and then like went exploring at night, driving around, found all this cool stuff, and like stuff that like even Saigonese people don't know, like these neighborhoods, and it's awesome.
That's one thing about this place, right? There's so many like you can find some every day. That's an alleyway, a different. Like one time I found this down some random alleyway, like this coffee place. Like man, it was so good, right?
Yeah.
Like how you even first of all, how you even business? No one can find
exactly.
I was just
how do you market it?
Curious, yeah.
And I guess it's like the alleyways local coffee shop, and that's how they sustain it. It's like, ooh, this is pretty nice living.
How often do you go back to Canada?
I've been back to Canada, I believe two or three times. It's escaping me in 10 years. So that's pretty embarrassing in a way.
And how often does your family or friends come here to visit y'all?
My brother lives here full time with his family, and my parents spend half the year here.
Okay.
They're retired, so they spend, and they're doing like 3 months on, 3 months off.
Nice.
So it's like, I'll be asking them sometimes, like, are you guys like in debt? How do you guys even afford this? But we make it work. And yeah, my friends very rarely, but I'll do like video calls.
Yeah.
You know how it is to be a man. Like, yeah. This.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything about Canada that you miss besides the snow, of course?
A ton. Like last time I went back to Canada was in the summertime. And so I come from like just outside the city. So I grew up like running around in nature and stuff. So I have a canoe, I have a bike, bicycle. I got like my driver's license when I was like 30 years old. So I was always biking around everywhere. And yeah, so I miss this. I miss like the, fresh air and the beautiful, incredible weather. It's like not too hot. Tim Hortons, donuts, Costco, just like the feeling of home. So it's like when you go home, like in America for you.
Yeah, that sense. Yeah.
It's like you just have a feeling inside you. Where it's just like this is home. Like one time I went back to Canada, and in the airport, this like lady police officer was like took me aside and like asked me questions about my passport. She was like, "You haven't been here in a long time." And then at the end, she was like, "Welcome home." Like all serious.
Yeah.
Like it was like a movie or something. Yeah. Like, okay, great.
Like you come back from war or something.
Yeah, it's like okay, like pretty cliche.
Like you came from another planet or something.
Yeah. Welcome home. All serious. I was like, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, this is my home. But I have a home.
Yeah.
I have a home here. So that's the beauty of it. You have a home everywhere. I would love to have like Bali as another home, like maybe I went to Argentina last time I was in Canada. Not necessarily for me, but it was like testing out, could this be a potential home? But yeah, like Central or South America, that'd be great to check out.
We haven't been there yet.
Oh, no. Could be good. Yeah. I've heard good things about like Paraguay. Yeah. Paraguay might be good for like, I think they give like citizenship very easily.
Yeah, a lot of people doing it now. Have you done the snake wine yet?
Of course.
Yeah, I did that on Mekong tour. Yeah. So at first I heard about it. I'm not doing that bullshit, right? And going on the tour, all these snake bottle stuff.
Yeah.
And the tour guy, okay, we're gonna do shot, right? Like there's 11 of us on the tour. I'm the only American.
Really?
Two people from Switzerland,
Hmm.
one from Germany, and the rest from Russia, right?
Really?
The two Switzerland people that like, we're not doing this, right? The German lady said no. All the Russian is like, yes, we'll take it.
Yes.
And the guy looked at me like, I can't be the punk bitch American. I gotta stand up for my country, right? Take a
Correct.
shot, right? And the thing was, it wasn't horrible, right?
Of course.
It was not
Tastes
horrible.
great.
Yeah, it was not horrible. It was like, yeah.
Like I love that home, not even just necessarily snake, but homemade wine.
Hmm.
Went to my girl's friend's hometown. We
Yeah.
had like a bunch of like I got like blackout for the
Hmm.
first time literally
Yeah.
20 years, and I'm 33. So it was like, and then like inside the wine there's like wasps
Yeah.
and different stuff, and you eat it, you chew on it.
Yeah. They didn't have that.
Okay, well, it's worth trying sometime.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, yeah.
So talk about this too. Like I tell people like back to the States, like I've never felt this safe in my life. At least I
Yes.
can remember. I'll be like random places, 2 or 3 in the morning, like I probably shouldn't be here. If I was in the States, I definitely should be here if I was in the States, right? But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
I think you'll never be in danger here,
yeah.
ever.
Like I'm sure there's crime here and
Unless you're
stuff.
super rude
Yeah,
or you're looking for a fight.
yeah,
That's normal. That's anywhere.
yeah. I've actually walked in people's yards and stuff, or
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm
You just
sorry.
wave at
Yeah,
them, and then
turn around. Yeah,
sometimes I'm sure people would be like, come in, come in.
yeah.
Like super,
Or
super
you walking
hospitable.
around and oh man, this is a dead end street. Let me get out of here, right?
Yeah. And then you just like,
But yeah, super safe. Yeah, it's like insane.
incredible. Yeah, I love some of the honestly some of the best people I've ever met.
Hmm.
And I've been in some situations where like even the police have to like get involved because like somebody attacks me or something. Even the police are super nice to me.
Yeah,
It's like I think like people and they also like love honor. Like so many times they'll be like,
and that is kind of insane to me, right? Because like,
it's interesting.
yeah. First of all, like I said this before, like I don't think Vietnam gets enough credit for like
Yes.
fighting off the Chinese for centuries, beating the French, beating the Americans. I don't think enough credit in history for that. But then it's like, I guess maybe I'm just petty or fucked up person. Like if I was Vietnamese and American came, they're like, dude, I'm scamming you. I'm taking advantage of you.
It's
Like,
true.
fuck that
But
shit.
they
right?
won.
No, they won't.
No, they won.
They're,
So they
they're
don't
more nicer to Americans. They're their own kind sometimes.
Yeah.
It seems like.
they don't have that resentment.
No, they don't.
Same with America and England.
Mhm.
England might have like resentment to you guys. It's like, I don't even know who you are. I beat you.
Yeah.
I don't even need to worry about you.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe
Robbie Williams, who's
maybe,
this?
yeah, maybe that's what it is.
For sure it is. And also it's like, at least in America, in terms of America, it's like, yeah, America does a great job of not propagating, but like exporting your culture.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
I think we talked about it
people
before,
love
like-
it. Yeah, people
Yeah.
love Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
It's like in the American dream. It's like this is
Yeah. I mean, I know America there's all this immigration stuff going on. Like
yeah,
my thing is like the day people don't want to come to our country, that's the day we be worried, right?
exactly. And
Like-
people like rag on Hollywood and stuff. It's like people love your country because of them. And I mean, I
Yeah.
know they're like annoying and
Yeah.
low
I mean,
key.
everyone has Coca-Cola shirts, Shaquille O'Neal jerseys,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
even people like who say, I hate America. Well, you love our beer, you love our, culture, right?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, like didn't Osama bin Laden even like his family become rich because of America?
Yeah.
So it's like, how
Yeah.
dare you,
Yeah.
traitor?
Yeah.
So-
All the oil they sold to America. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the amount of times that somebody will be like, "Are you American?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from Canada." They'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh," like
Yeah.
visibly disappointed or just like bored,
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. But like, are you from America?
Yeah.
Like, super excited.
So speaking of Canada and America,
Yeah.
what do you think about becoming the 51st state?
It's I'm sure you could appreciate this as a military person. Like, I love being an independent country. And I know from experience, like I love I have a lot of American friends, but I know that it's very different. So I don't think Canada should become a 51st state,
Yeah, I think for some reason, I think people keep on underestimating Donald Trump. I don't think he has any intention of making Canada 51st state. I think he's just playing
Negotiator.
chess.
Yeah.
He's like same thing with Greenland, right?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, he doesn't want to technically buy it, but I mean, supposedly if we do the war with Russia and China, everything will go over Greenland. So why not
For sure.
take care of Greenland and at least put military bases or air defense there,
Man, Canada had this issue too. It was like they're talking about like Russia and China talking about like taking over the north part of Canada.
Mhm.
And like I'm pretty sure they didn't do anything about it. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like the current, it was just like, oh, what? This is like
Yeah.
a serious. This is a potentially serious issue.
Yeah. It's funny how things change. Like maybe 30 or 40 years ago, like Arctic Ocean, who cares about that? Now, like everyone cares about Arctic Ocean. Like
Sure.
realize how like vital it is to like all that stuff, strategic stuff, the oil there supposedly, like
Exactly. And I think like being unpredictable is can be an advantage.
yeah.
So like for instance, he said something about like Hamas, like there'll be like hell to pay or something. And it's not, and then there's like a ceasefire.
Yeah.
So it's like people I think are like, and also he just like doesn't care. Like I'm not a Trump supporter. Let me be clear, but yeah, he just like
But some of the stuff does have results, like his first term, he made a statement like something like, I'm paraphrasing, all you European countries who were not paying your fair share, we're not going to offend you no more. I mean, it took a year, but within a year I mean,
they
they
started
didn't,
paying more
yeah, they started paying more,
for NATO or what?
for NATO, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think anybody, cares about his country. I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
I obviously he cares about his own self-interest,
Mm.
but he does care about his country, and I think that's like good. If I was American, I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't agree with his politics, but if it helps,
So I think we talked about this before, but you remember that guy Larry King, right?
Larry King, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So this happened like 10, 15 years
Oh
ago.
my God,
Yeah. Don Trump was on a show.
Yeah.
Larry King, like, how did you become such a good negotiator? He said, well, we'll talk about that later, right? Blah, blah, talking then. And then 10 minutes later, Donald Trump says, hey, Larry, you know your breast stinks, right?
yeah,
What do you mean my breast stinks? Yeah. No one's telling you your breast stinks. It was stinking the whole time. I just can't take it no more. And like,
my
it
God,
threw Larry King off, right? And 5 minutes
yeah.
later, Donald said, that's what I do right there. See how he threw you off? Now you're rattled. Now you think about different stuff. You're not
Is
focused.
that?
Like,
Oh,
okay.
okay. So I saw the clip. I
Yeah.
thought he was just being an asshole.
No, he was like, yeah, he was telling him that's how you negotiate. Yeah,
Oh,
he rattled him, right? Now
okay.
you're not thinking about conversation. You think about, has my breath already stunk?
Yeah, yeah.
Why did
Yeah.
my people didn't tell me this, right?
Yeah. Now
And
he's
now you're not
insecure.
focused.
Yes.
Now you're insecure. Now,
Wow.
he said this is like obviously it's like the whole deal, but I kind of like, how the game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like that. What is it? 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
He probably wrote that book.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that clip and being
Yeah.
like, "What an
Yeah.
asshole."
No, he did like show him like, hey, this is how I negotiate. This is what I do. This is how people walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rally you, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's obviously he's been successful.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like he's not like self-made. He's not a self-made millionaire.
No. I mean, he has been bankrupt a few times, but
Yeah, but he is. To me, one thing like I don't watch politics. I don't follow the news because I think it's like I've seen how the sausage is made behind the scenes, so I know that they're just like trying to get ad revenue.
Yeah.
But so I mention this because it's like most people that I really really love and whatnot hate Trump, but I will defend him as like the best marketer who's probably ever lived, which is not a good thing necessarily, but he's like a friggin' marketing wizard.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like all these, like I even tell my family, it's like you guys are, like, or anybody else, it's like you guys keep talking about this guy. It's like that's what he wants, and it's like he doesn't even know you exist. Like you're wasting like moments of life like talking about somebody that you hate. It's like what? Why? Please.
It could be like people that talk about Trump, Elon Musk, anyone else famous, like they have not even fucking exist, and you're wasting all this bandwidth on on Twitter or X or Facebook.
Oh my God, or Blue Sky.
Yeah. Oh,
blah blah blah.
I hate this guy. He does this. He's anti-American. Like we're even on his radar. Like nowhere close.
It's almost like I almost feel like it could be like what is it, like a kibosh or something, where it's like the ruling class like creates all this bullshit that distracts the middle class from doing what they actually need to create wealth. It's like they just like continue to focus on the wrong things and then never work on something.
So I sent you a message earlier today, asked you knew anything about a thing called Red Note, right? And so that's just amazing, right? So as everyone knows in America, they're gonna probably ban Taco Center, right? And so I mean, first of all, I don't know if it's true or not, conspiracy theory, can't believe the internet.
Yes.
But supposedly Mark Zuckerberg spent billions of dollars lobbying Congress to show them TikTok. So TikTok people go back to Meta, right? While the American people, being petty as we are, we all want a fucking Chinese app called
Wow.
Red Note. It's called, it has a Chinese name. I can't say it, but it's nicknamed
Yeah.
Red Note. Exactly.
Chinese owned.
Yeah. The Chinese name means little red book, Miles little red book, but America call it Red Note for some reason.
My goodness.
And so
It's
this one guy
insane.
said, man, so Americans, we'd rather, instead of going back to Instagram Reels, we'd rather
Yeah.
go to an all Chinese Mandarin app and
Exactly.
learn Mandarin, right?
And like the government, like the Chinese government, just like on your phone.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
the Chinese government did a statement like, hey, welcome to our social media app,
Oh my God, that
and
is
it's
hilarious.
crazy, like all these Chinese people on like on the app now. Hey, thanks for coming to America. They're giving people like red note lessons,
Oh my God.
Well, it's crazy. Like most Americans don't move away from their hometown ever, right?
Yeah.
And so seeing how Chinese, right? All right, they're seeing like how like Shanghai is, like they're seeing grocery store the prices, like you paying like I think one example, this dude say he did an example like this 6 pack of corn on the cob is $8 in my place. It's 94 cents there.
Yeah, but it's probably fake. Like plastic.
I mean, maybe.
I'm kidding.
Maybe so.
But
And it's fun to comparison stuff like we had no idea it was like
sure.
this, right? Like the
Yeah,
grocery
exactly.
stores, like because America like oh Chinese like this a
Like
little
the
bit of a
80s.
third world country,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
like their dirt road, like
Oh
and
my God.
they're showing all the like the stuff like the advancements that American people are just being blown away right now.
For sure.
And they're being blown away by hospitality of like the Chinese people, right?
It's
Because
incredible.
it was reversed, like suppose Chinese people came, like we say like TikTok or on Instagram.
Yes.
Americans are like, you better Google that shit. They're like actually like doing food page tutorial, video tutorials, right? So they use their app, right?
That's
So
so
like,
funny.
okay, this means this means that,
And wasn't TikTok banned because it was a
supposedly data being stored by Chinese,
because once a Chinese company reaches a certain level, you need to be part of the government.
Yeah.
So is Red Note part of the government too?
Yeah. But now America, we're just saying like, here's our data. Fuck the American government, right?
Yeah, well, Mark Zuckerberg's the same. Mark Zuckerberg is like, there's a another podcast that I enjoy called Behind the Bastards, I think, and they just like go into the history of like all these bad people in history. They have like this thing about Zuckerberg, and they named him like the worst person of the 21st century.
Damn.
Like he's just like such a scumbag.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe,
yeah, I don't know either, but like I know that he's unlikable. But
yeah, he does have a punchable face, as they say,
sure.
and all the stuff they said about how he like quote unquote acquired, got rid of his friends, all that stuff,
That's coming. That's coming. That's another thing that I don't like Trump is that he has a history of not paying suppliers.
Yeah.
And that's a dirtball.
Yeah, that's not
scumbag thing.
And supposedly Zuckerberg, like he'll go somewhere like I want to buy the whole neighborhood and force people out, been there for like
in
decades
Hawaii
and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and just like a flip flopper, disingenuous, like does whatever is good for money and like no ethics.
Yeah, and we're already know like it's not really the TikTok is more like a Pinterest. It's more favorable, like compared to Pinterest, but
okay,
like it's crazy. So in 2 days, it went from number 32 to number one on the App Store.
Wow,
in 2 days.
Red Note.
Yeah, it was even crazier, right? So now it's like I guess everyone else from America's over there. Like there's a lot of Canadians, a lot of British, a lot of Germans, and people are like, dude, like your fucking country not banned TikTok. Like, yeah, but TikTok would be nowhere near fun without Americans. We're gonna come where the Americans go, right?
For sure.
Because we do some crazy shit on there.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like that. I do like what China like. So if I have kids, I'll be very like police what they consume on the internet because it's like you just see this stuff that like kids consume. It's just like garbage, garbage for the brain. Just like I don't have TikTok myself, but my parents have TikTok, and like most people that I know have TikTok, and it's just like. Granted, when I see my girl on it, she's like learning how to cook, like learning all this cool stuff. But like you see a kid on TikTok and it's just like trash.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some good stuff on there for sure. That's also some bad stuff.
Yeah. So I guess the algorithm, what you like, or like the length that you stay on a video.
And one thing I love about Red Note, like most American social media, you can just put anything on there, like John Bob 29, Big Dick 21.
Yeah.
In there, you have to put your real name.
Oh, okay.
You can't use any
like Facebook or something. Not like Reddit.
Yeah, you have to put your real name. Yeah.
Okay. So it might be good. Some of these newer platforms are usually great marketing platforms.
Yeah. So it's actually been around since 2013.
Wow.
Yes,
but not popular.
It's the number one app in
China. But it was 30.
It was 32 around the world.
In America.
Yeah, in America. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's the number one app in China.
So it's the number one app around the world now.
Wow.
On Google and
America.
Yeah, no, on Apple and Android.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so funny because you messaged me about this and like, do you know enough about talk about this? I was
Mhm.
like, I never even heard of this.
Yeah,
I've heard of the
it's
Red Book
yeah,
from
yeah,
the 80s.
yeah. It's insane, right? And like this one lady, I used to follow on TikTok. She's a real big fashion lady, right? I don't know how to follow. I have no idea about fashion. She said
Yeah,
I was a rent note. I said like, I have no idea about fashion. I thought I did. Like they're at another level there.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it was fun, right? All these teenagers, Chinese teenagers got on like Red Note and like I fought all the Americans. Can you help me with my homework, please? I need my English
Oh,
homework.
that is hilarious. Don't they have
Yeah.
ChatGPT? Don't they have AI stuff?
Hey, I mean, I'm sure they do,
That's okay.
but it's crazy how all these Chinese Americans just talking back and forth.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really
That's cool. I
cool.
hope they're actually Chinese people and
Yeah.
not like bots
Yeah. I
by the
mean, who knows,
government
right? Who knows?
propagating
Yeah.
it. Because I know that like these other countries tend to play the long game
Yeah.
and they're very strategic.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. So, but you know, I don't know if like depends on your like. So, for
So
instance,
Blue Sky, what
your
is that's like another X for thing?
Blue Sky
Or
is like X, but like more liberal, but maybe centrist.
okay.
Because like X is
Like I
like
don't know, Mark, your best friend Mark Zuckerberg did Threads
yeah.
when after Elon Musk, and at first all these liberals left X with the Threads, and they all came back. The Threads just fucking sucked.
But it was like, what do you like? I never did Threads, but it was like, you think Zuckerberg's any better than friggin'
I know,
Musk?
you know.
Like,
What would drive me on X? People like, I'm leaving X forever and go to Threads.
oh
Like,
my
first
God.
of all, you have like 29 followers.
Yeah,
Who gives a
exactly.
fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Nerd.
you be back in like 10 days,
Yeah. And yeah, it's just
and
like,
then
what
come
do you
back. I'm
like?
back.
Yeah, it's like all the best.
Like so many
Nobody gives
people
a
have
shit.
inflated self-worth, right?
But you know, like everybody has like if you're alive, you do have like worth in this world. But I mean, like, have some common sense, you know? Because Zuckerberg doesn't care about you.
No,
He
no.
so like I don't know. I just I had the same issue with my Canada's president or Canada's prime minister. I voted for him, but
Governor Trudeau.
yeah, exactly. But
Governor
just like,
Trudeau. You know, Trump told him that in a meeting, right?
of course I know. But I just like I have a personal big issue with like disingenuous
Mhm.
people. Somebody who's just doing stuff for marketing or like like doing charity stuff and then they take pictures
Mhm.
and I was like, just you're just
Or worse, they get the beginning of the charity event, take a picture, and leave after 5 minutes.
yeah,
They take a
wow.
picture with the trash and the sign, and
Yeah,
then yeah,
exactly. Just not my type of not my type of guy, you know? Um, so yeah, just as long as somebody's doing something
yeah.
like
So you think the states would think we're gonna actually ban TikTok? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, but I like at first I thought Amazon should buy it because TikTok Shop is very big, and so it
Yeah.
seemed like Amazon
That
and
is a good
TikTok
match.
would
Yeah.
be a great partnership.
Yeah. Now
But
they're
they
talking
didn't
about
buy it.
yeah. Not talking about Elon Musk might buy it. All these different
Really
people. Yeah. Um. Oh, here's the craziest one. Supposedly Mr. Beast had put in a lot of money to try to get a part of it too.
interesting.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
I'm just holding. I hope that Trump's going to save us some kind of way like that. Of course, he doesn't become president 20th, and it goes to Supreme Court. I think like today. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm to be truth, I'm not a, social media guy. So I do
yeah.
content marketing, but
Mhm.
my brother does is like more of a social media
Yeah.
um
Mhm.
know-how. I focus more on like the I like I generally like to like set it and forget it.
Mhm.
Like so I like to create something
Yeah.
and then like for SEO. That's why when I got into SEO, I was like, oh, this is a perfect matches my
Yeah.
personality. And then you can use that the content that you create for SEO and then you can repurpose it for social media and whatnot. So it's like this is like the foundation of what you do.
So what is content marketing? Like, let me backtrack. What is marketing, right? I think marketing. I think a lot of people think marketing is like this one thing, but actually, marketing is like really expansive, right? With a lot of different parts, right?
Yeah. So marketing is basically just like getting awareness, gaining awareness for something. You have a product or service and you want people to know about it and like eventually buy it. So content marketing is like creating content, not necessarily to push a sale immediately, but just to like go through the sales cycle. So like get build awareness, then engage your potential customers, then, like get their email, and then eventually get them to convert into customers. And then you create more content to keep them satisfied. And then you create like incentive for them to share it with their customers or with their friends. And so it's like, there's many different strategies involved, but yeah, it's generally just to get a sale, but it's like people helping people. So this is what I like about it. It's like, you're not like pushing a sale, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's
Is there such thing as bad content, or is all content good content?
I think there is bad content for sure. So because like, for instance, if you create content with no goal in mind, or not for any specific person, or content totally unrelated to what you do, then maybe it's not bad per se, but it doesn't actually benefit you at all, and you've wasted time and money.
Then like people will say how for this, like suppose you have numbers, right? Like suppose someone has 10,000 followers,
Yeah.
but only 5 of them are engaged, right?
Yeah.
And someone else has 100 followers, but 95 are engaged.
Perfect. I
It's
like
better
this.
be the second
Way
number,
better.
right? Okay.
Yeah, it's way better. So like sometimes if you have like 10,000 followers, maybe those people follow a ton of different people. So it's like, and the algorithm will push them down. So it's like, you might get like, 1% or even less.
I know with me, I have like a LinkedIn newsletter for the podcast. I have like almost 8,000 followers. I went there one time, like Muslim, I'm like, okay, he's from India, from Bangladesh, another country, like none of them, like at least half of them were not anywhere where they need to buy anything from, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was looking at your site, and I would recommend to like nail down your target audience. So would it be like I know small business.
Yeah.
So you could do like small business, then you could niche it down even more. Small business from veteran.
Yeah.
Veteran-owned small businesses in Seattle, stuff like this. And so you create content, and you have pages on your website that
yeah, I need to do that.
do this. Well, I mean, so it's I think like it's not that it's more so like common sense. Like so it's not like you have to go to school for this stuff, or it's like pay somebody a ton of money to do this. It's like, okay, so this is the person I am going after, so I will create content and be very deliberate and descriptive. You okay? You feeling hot? Yes. Thanks, man. Getting sweaty. So, yeah. Make sure there's nothing on the ground.
So I think one thing, like a lot of people starting new business with have difficulty with, like they know they need SEO, they need content marketing, right? But so like a lot of people doing SEO, they'll say, hey, pay me this money, and you have no idea if it's a fair amount, you have no idea where, like if you're paying a good amount, right?
Yeah.
But the SEO per se, you're not gonna see results for 6 months. So small business owner like, hey, I'm fucking struggling here.
No. Yeah. I
Like,
don't. So yeah.
I can't wait for 6 months to get results. I have no idea if you're gonna come through for me.
Exactly. And so like if it's to be truth, like some companies don't need SEO. Or if you are just starting out, or you're trying to like attract the initial customer base, you're probably better off using ads or some other like social media or something, So it does take time with SEO, but if you have like, so for instance, your site has DR 45. So you have a nice amount of links. And I think a considerable amount of this is because you do the podcast, which is a form of content marketing.
Yeah.
So you do content marketing, it attracts links, your website builds authority. And so you have a nice amount of trust from these inbound links to your site. So with that trust, you are able to go after topics. And so it won't, you have to be strategic about which topics you go after. But if you do, I did like a little brief, quick research. And so right off the top of my head, it's tough, but like HR solutions for small businesses. If you create like a page like this, or on your homepage, you add that to the title, and I'm not going to get too
Yeah.
technical just for the sake of clarity. But like if you add that to the title of your website, your homepage, you will probably rank on the first page,
Okay, nice.
like almost immediately. So this is one of the things, this is my agency, me and my brother run. This is one of the things we specialize in is if you already have something, we're great at taking something from one to infinity and beyond. You know, so it's like you already have something. You have a nice amount of links and whatnot. You just need these simple tweaks, and then expanding more pages on your site so that people. Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
how do I do this, right? So like, so I have a LinkedIn newsletter,
Yeah.
Kevin's HR newsletter on LinkedIn, right? I have like almost 3,000 followers, right? And like one thing that I know for LinkedIn, I need to my own newsletter, right? How do you advise me like go from like a LinkedIn newsletter to my own actual newsletter, right?
Yeah, so you have some like incentive in the actual newsletter. Like here you have a link being like, hey, you want to download this PDF document or something, and the people will click through, it'll be on your site, and then they will give you their email.
Yeah.
And try to make it as easy for them as possible. Like just give me your email. Don't need to say name. Because I'm pretty sure I saw a study. It's like the more fields that people have to input, the less likely you'll
I'm
get
saying like
anything.
if I have a survey, I get a question 10, I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
my limit. 10
Exactly.
questions is my limit
Keep
for
it nice,
survey.
short and simple. And like even myself, like I'll, that LinkedIn strategy, like comment this and I'll send you a PDF.
Yeah.
I do that quite a bit. I fall for it quite a bit. And like I never look at it. It's just, and then I'll just get emails from these people. I don't necessarily open it, but it's like if I was looking for that service, I would.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn does seem like a good way to get build awareness.
Yeah, I have a pretty good following on there.
Yeah. But try to get them off. Try to get them off and get onto your site and give
one
your
thing about LinkedIn I hate it and I love it. Like if you're supposed to go to newsletter, right? And you go to and you list of subscribers, right?
Yeah.
You click the number one, get information. Well, first of all, like people if you don't know realize that like the emails on LinkedIn more like that is not accurate, right?
Yeah.
Just from callers, another job, no one updates, right? But even if it was updated, like suppose like I went to like number 100 and I go back, it goes back to number one, right?
Really?
You have to remember to right click and open up a new link, right? So yeah, LinkedIn makes it very hard to get information off your.
For sure.
Yeah.
Of course. All these,
and I realize why they do it. They want scammers and stuff like that. But man,
and also they just want to keep people on the platform.
Yeah.
They don't like so they can sell ads and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of a dirty business to be truth, but that's the way capitalists.
Yeah. So why should people? When you say ads, you mean like Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads?
It depends on the industry.
Okay.
So if you're like B2B, probably LinkedIn ads, although I've heard that they're very expensive.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on, and also it depends on the region.
Mhm.
So nailing down your target customer, ICP, ideal customer profile is super, super important because then that you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money. Granted, to be fair, I don't want to talk too much about Google ads in general because it's not my expertise. But I do know that if you are starting out, it is you'll get better results.
Does Bing sell ads?
Probably.
Okay.
Bing is pretty good to be honest. Like with whenever I work with clients, I will generally put them onto Bing.
Yeah.
So that way, because it's like just based on logic. Microsoft owns 40% of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So it's like you would assume. But I did see a study recently that Google ranking carries more weight than Bing in terms of whether or not it will appear on ChatGPT. Which in a way does make sense because it has such a bigger market share. But
so total off subject, right? And so someone put on LinkedIn a few days ago, they put like hey, Microsoft just develop a free OpenAI or clone, whatever.
Yeah.
OpenAI has no chance to compete. Someone put, you do know Microsoft owns 4% of OpenAI, right? Like, come on now.
Exactly. And so like I use Microsoft Edge, which is like the browser but it's built on Chromium, which is the same thing as Chrome, but it just happens to use less RAM on your computer. And it has like if on the right side, it will have like open it up and it's like a web pilot thing. And so it's like ChatGPT for free. I never got it to work too well for me,
Yeah.
but for other people, it seems to work well. So Microsoft Edge, um, if you get if if anybody takes one takeaway from this, it would be use Microsoft Edge more. Just kidding. But it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And yeah, so yeah, LinkedIn, that comment, you
Yeah.
get a lot of that.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately.
the worst, to me, the worst are the people that are like attack other people. Like,
Mhm.
so it's like you're like an influencer or you're like a LinkedIn influencer and you're like punching down on
Yeah.
these people trying to build up, doing the same tactics
Yeah.
they used,
Yeah.
and now they're punching down.
And we talked about this before. Like, I don't understand is like, you have all these like, Instagram expert, LinkedIn experts,
Yeah.
but you don't work for LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how do you yeah.
So you build like you have a strategy and then I've had a lot of these people like join my mastermind,
Mhm.
and basically what it is like it's an engagement pod. So you pay money monthly to be part of this group. So it's like I posted this thing on LinkedIn and then all these people will comment
Mhm.
and like it and whatnot, which does seem to work well, but
Mhm.
it does seem like gamifying
Yeah.
it in such a way that the algorithm or LinkedIn will eventually penalize this.
Do y'all have like so what's the name of your company again?
8-bit content.
And what's the story behind that?
Just me and my brother, just helping companies. So like originally we were helping like real estate companies in Hanoi. Then we did APEC guide to trying. Was like subcontracted from another company. And then we just from here we got more into like online content marketing.
And you have like a quote unquote perfect customer?
No.
No.
That's one of the challenges that I personally have at the moment because I'm trying to determine like what's like the best niche. So for a few years, we were working with like affiliate sites,
Mhm.
helping affiliate sites grow and it's like content sites.
Mhm.
And that was a pretty amazing
Mhm.
industry to be in because it's like just like printing money.
Mhm.
You're just especially in the age of AI.
Mhm.
So you're just creating content for these people.
Mhm.
They want people to use AI
Mhm.
and then making money off affiliates and then got penalized and that whole industry is down. So now back to the drawing board.
What's your opinion like the people out there on social media like they're like, oh, I don't like AI. If you're gonna write an article, write yourself, Like what's your opinion on that? Should people using AI or should someone do an article on ChatGPT and just post it or like refine it or like
Uh,
say everyone like be old school, like do everything themselves?
no, I think you should use it. It will speed up your time, but you need to have a system in place. So you don't like if you have you don't go to ChatGPT and be like, here, give me a list of keywords of HR consulting.
Mhm.
Don't trust this. But when you do find a topic, like, so I could go into like the workflow
Mhm.
if that's easy. So
Yeah.
instead of using like AI or something like this, it would use either a tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush is a very popular SEO tool. And so it gives you an idea of what your potential ideal customers are
Mhm.
searching for, plus the data
Mhm.
on how much monthly searches they do per month. But you could also go into like subreddits, like small business subreddit, Facebook groups usually have a lot of this. See what posts are getting the most engagement. See what like real people are searching for, because if they're searching for this stuff on social media, there's a good chance that they've looked for this on Google. So this gives you an idea. Then from there, you put that topic into Google and you see what are the pages ranking for
Mhm.
this topic and then when you go into those, you see the title, you get an idea of what to include in the
Mhm.
title. And then you see the different headings, how the page is structured. And this will give you an idea of what you should also cover. And then section by section, that's how you use AI. But before you add that into AI, try to add a little bit of your own unique insights
Mhm.
into it because it's kind of like training
Mhm.
AI. And then also you can go take it a step further. You can there's a website, libgen LIBGEN dot IS or something. Or last I checked, I believe it was they will come back again. Or I can share with you. Um, and so you can download like scientific articles, like industry related textbooks, something like this. So you add some additional insights. So it's not just regurgitating information that's already there. And then you use AI. And then you use AI to flesh out the ideas that you got through your own research. Granted, this is how I recommend people do. Like I haven't, so with our clients, I send them like an SOP. If it's something like too technical that I don't feel comfortable giving to a vendor, I'll give them an SOP with a very step-by-step system on how their team can use AI to create this. The other thing about AI though is that generally, if it's like you don't specify, it does create like very flowery and long sentences, and people don't generally like to read this. So another program, a free program called HemingwayApp.com. So you just like copy paste the AI stuff into the Hemingway app, and then you can make it more readable. You just edit it. So this is the way that I found the easiest way, like humanizing AI content. You just use a platform like Hemingway app, because then you have to go through and be like, oh, this sentence is way too long. And then it will also like highlight adverbs and all this different stuff that people tend to not appreciate. And like platitudes is the term, I believe, where it's like in this digital landscape, stuff like, like stuff that like everybody knows, and it's like unnecessary, and it also screams AI. So you can use AI to create great content, but you definitely should use your own insights. You can also use AI to repurpose your content. So it's like, please give me the key takeaways of this podcast episode, and it'll do this, and then you can create like uh, it's obviously more nuanced, but then you create like a LinkedIn carousel or anything like this,
So back to the newsletter, right? So when someone moves their newsletter from LinkedIn, is there any like specific newsletters that you use, like Substack or Medium or Instantly Mailchimp or anything like that, or does that matter?
I think typically we would use, or we have used with clients, ConvertKit. I believe they rebranded to kit.com. So this is a good one. And I think MailerLite is another good one. Basically, like if you have like under 1,000 subscribers, there are platforms that are free. So like MailChimp, all these other ones, they're quite expensive. And like Medium and Substack is okay, but Medium, I don't believe it's like the same as LinkedIn. Like you don't actually own, you don't own the emails. And then Substack, it's like you have to get people to buy. And unless you have like unless you've been around for a long time, you're like technically like an influencer. It's quite difficult, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like I helped a client grow from like I can't remember the exact, up to like 100K, up to 100K subscribers, or like 150K. And it was but even then, like most of the people are not actually, it's like a dead subscriber. Like they haven't opened your email in like forever.
That's a point track too, right?
It's important to track, yeah, because then you should get rid of them because you're paying money for these people.
And again, like doesn't like it's just like some type of email score where people don't open it for some amount of time and degrade your email score or something.
Yeah. And like you also, like if you're like spamming people, like you gotta have like multiple email addresses.
So what is spam, right? I think people have different definitions. Like I think obviously spam is like you spam someone every day with something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I mean it's like suppose like you're trying to sell oranges and you spam someone every day. Yeah.
For sure.
But
Like you're just like pushing a sale, or like, like people just don't, like you're
like how many emails does it take to become spam? Right? Can one email be spam, or
I
has it
think
take
so.
2 or 3?
I think so. Like there's also like certain words, like you would, if you Google, like it's important before you give like a blast out of like an email with like lots of people. It's important to make sure that you don't have like lots of spam words.
Yeah. Free.
Yeah, free,
Last chance.
money back, probably, like stuff like
Last
this.
chance. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Act now.
Yeah, something that's like pushing a sale and
Mhm.
like offers zero value. So going back to what you said, like, is there such a thing as bad content? Like, yeah, like
Mhm.
if it if it's only about your company
Mhm.
and offers zero value
Mhm.
to the reader, it's like an ego boost. That's bad content,
Mhm.
you know, and that's pretty common.
So people will say all the time, like make this up. So you want to reach out to 1,000 people, right?
Yeah.
And let's say personalize it, right? Or like, I don't know who has time to personalize 1,000 emails, right?
Yeah.
But then like, what's your take on personalizing? And I've heard some people say like if you personalize it, they know you're fake. Like, what's the worst case scenario?
Yeah.
Hey, you're human, I'm human, or
Yeah. Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
both from Canada, like there's really like I've heard people just go to value, don't like fuck the personalization.
Yeah, I think it's probably true because going back to what I said, disingenuous.
Mm,
You know, it's like, hey, I get this all the time. Like, hey, I read your email, or I love your content, or I love your article, and I would love to add a blog post on your site,
mm,
like a guest post.
yeah,
You know, it's just like, you didn't, like, obviously, I don't take offense to it. Like, they're trying to do something, trying to make money, no problem. But
yeah.
it's so fake, and so I'm obviously not gonna.
Yeah. My thing is like if somebody like go on social media, LinkedIn, whatever, and like ask a question, right? Okay, dude, I know you're trying to get a customer. Just ask me to fucking like ask, like
Exactly.
they're like, what do you like? One time so I do like a little like woman podcast where I put on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and someone put like this sounds like a great interview. Jason, what insights did you gain? Motherfucker, I was there. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I did the
Watch it.
interview. Yeah.
Watch the interview. But you know, and I do know that LinkedIn has like a problem with AI comments. So
Yeah.
some of it's like not even them. But to be fair, I'm not on it that much. Like I'm basically born too late. Should have
So
been
I obviously learned this. So this is a lady I follow on TikTok and LinkedIn named Leslie Vaness, right? There's a lot of good sales stuff.
okay.
Like really good sales, right? I had no idea this happened. She did a comment where, hey, if you're having a hard time getting followers or whatever, and you see someone else with a lot of followers, chances are they're buying it, right? Like I had no idea that people could go buy LinkedIn comments, Instagram comments,
For sure.
followers. I had no clue that happened. Like, you could do that, right?
By upvotes on Reddit.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had no clue that was a thing. But she said, yeah, all these
I,
people like you have like because she said, hey, like if you have like 5,000 followers and no engagement, and
yeah,
someone
of
else has
course.
200 followers, they're getting all this kind of shit. They're buying it. They're
Exactly.
buying it.
So that's why when you mentioned the hypothetical, like 100 people
Mm,
with like 95 people
mm,
commenting, like that's because that's real people and they are actually like have an
yeah.
engaged community. So if it's like it could be that the 5,000
Mm,
people are maybe real,
mm,
but unlikely, but it could be.
yeah.
But maybe they just don't care.
And how does someone improve engagement?
Just creating good content.
Yeah.
Like that's like the main thing about content marketing is like
Mm,
actually like helping,
mm,
so it's like you're actually providing value
mm,
for the consumer. So like, like HR in this case, I don't know, like um updating Seattle business owners on regulation compliance
yeah.
changes,
Mm,
or like I don't know, hope you got your W-2s in or something,
yeah. Yeah.
like just something that is like oh, that's right, that reminded me on this, or that's good
Mm,
insight to know, or like did you know that, stuff like this
mm,
is helpful, and people like this.
yeah. So let's say there's a small business out there. They're starting off small, like 4 or 5 people. Like, it's like a 2 or 3 part question. Like, wouldn't they bring on a marketing person? And if they bring on like an internal HR, like internal marketing hire, so you hire someone like you, what factors that play in all that?
I'm sorry.
So like it's a small business,
Yeah.
3 or 4 people, right?
Yeah.
Like when should they bring on like a internal marketing person
Okay, when?
or like
Okay.
or instead of internal marketing, should they hire someone like you?
I think like
How,
when they're making money. When
okay.
they're making enough money where it's like it would cost them money to be worrying about this, whereas they should be doing something
Mm,
else. Like, so a lot of time I think when you're like starting out, the founder does everything and then
mm,
eventually gets like a VA. And then like maybe you have a co-founder, but the co-founder is like a technical
mm,
person. So the other co-founder is like more of a marketing
mm,
guy. So um like if you're not like at a position where you shouldn't be burning your own money
Mhm.
for marketing. You should be doing it yourself. But that's one of the beauties of it. It's not like rocket science.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, this is like my target audience. This is like HR services for small business owners. HR consulting for small business owners in Seattle. Like you could add that to your homepage. You could add multiple pages
Mhm.
on your website to offer different for the different services. Um, yeah, so I think like a lot of times like you don't need to pay somebody. You can do this yourself, especially in the age of AI.
Mhm.
So you should um hire somebody like me if you already have content
Mhm.
and you need help like optimizing it or getting better results. Or you want to add like you already have like you get lots of traffic from like YouTube or social media or something, and you want to add like another component, or you want to repurpose it. So
So for you, does it matter like the size of the company, industry, revenue, or anything like that?
ideally, I always like to work with people that
I
are
mean,
have a
have can
bigger
pay,
budget.
yeah, can pay, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Um, but even then, like sometimes I work with like smaller companies,
Mhm.
and it's it just changes the strategy a little
Mhm.
bit because sometimes you can just be like, okay, I will be more of like a consultant,
Mhm.
and so here's like a standard operating procedure like document that you can follow with your internal team, and I can just check it. So this is what we do with one of our clients.
So I'm a big believer all customers are not good customers. Like, how do you like
Course.
quote unquote get rid of a customer or fire a customer?
I've not been so good with this, but I sometimes we can do it quite amicably. Like I think it's not working out, or just like we have difference of agreements, like even like on an interpersonal level. And what I mean, I'm not good at this. I mean, like I I don't necessarily always have to do it myself. We have
Mhm.
other people that are better at this, but even like on an interpersonal level, like I never burn bridges with, and I don't think it's a good strategy. Like, I'm sure they're a good person, just didn't work out. Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but yeah, it's not working out, you know?
So I'm sure this depends on case by case basis, but
Yeah, exactly.
like when someone sounds like you, like do you meet with them every day, once a week, or
Meet the client?
yeah, like
No.
how does that work? Like
Like
how's the customer service work, so to speak?
I mean, like you can have like a Slack channel, or you can have like email correspondence.
Mhm.
Ideally, ideally you shouldn't be like pestered by a client. Like that's um you can have like two calls in a month, like an initial call,
Mhm.
and then once you actually get going with the campaign, you could have like a monthly call at the end, say like these are the results, give a rundown of what happened. That's typically the standard way. And then if there's like issues during the campaign, you have like a shared dashboard.
Mhm.
Oftentimes we just use a simple Google sheet
Mhm.
because it's super easy. You can just leave a comment or
Mhm.
something on this, like, what's this? And
Mhm.
what do you think of this? And so you can have like ongoing communication, but daily calls and whatnot, no way.
Okay.
Too expensive. And yeah, no. So like, and there's a very common belief, and it's true. I've noticed from experience that like the more expensive client will bother you the least.
Yeah, I've heard that many times.
Like
Yeah.
it makes sense because like it's a small business,
Mhm.
and so it's like their own money and have more to lose.
Mhm.
So and also like the high net worth person is busy. They have lots of stuff. Like we work with a client, and they have like, I forget, but like 30 different plugins.
Mhm.
And this guy's like making 100 mil per year. So it's like he doesn't have the time.
Mhm.
He doesn't have the time or care. As long as you're getting results.
So to do this, like you have to have like a marketing degree, some kind of certification,
No,
like a HubSpot Academy, or like
HubSpot Academy is good.
so like how like do you prove to someone that can do what you're doing, right?
Just experience.
Okay.
So like I have a I have a I'm not a arrogant person. I was recently talking to a buddy, a buddy introduced me to another buddy who was a potential client,
Mm.
and like I was like sharing with him what I do, and he was like, my buddy, I thought I was doing an okay job.
Mm.
My buddy was like, he's a Canadian, he's not good selling
Yeah.
himself, you know. So, I do, we do well.
Okay.
We get results, and that kind of like speaks for itself. I don't have a marketing background. I've never taken a marketing class in university in my life. But I've done HubSpot inbound marketing, HubSpot email marketing. There's some really good, valuable stuff. And in terms of like SEO, it can take like years to learn, but it's not rocket science. And there are lots of courses out there that are pretty reasonable. SEO notebook, like the thing with SEO is that there's so much trash out there, so much trash advice by like scammers. You know, like, or people like trying to sell a course based on information that's old, that's outdated, doesn't work anymore, and just like trying to make a quick buck, not caring whether or not the person on the receiving end gets any benefit out of it. And so that's very prevalent. So you have to be very careful who you follow in SEO. But there is a guy in particular who created a course called SEO Blueprint, and it's this guy is top quality SEO.
So how does a small business owner, someone starting out, decide what agencies to hire? 'Cause I know, like in the Seattle area where I'm from, there's like literally hundreds of marketing, social media, content marketers, whatever. Like, how do you like
Yeah,
decide? Oh,
I don't know. It's from the other. This is from the other. So I guess it's like gut feeling, referral.
mhm,
Like what do they have? What
mhm,
results? What case studies can they share?
mhm,
What kind of proposal can
mhm,
they offer? Um, like oftentimes it's like deliverables,
mhm,
but then you have to assess, like what kind of contract do they offer? Are they trying to get into like a year-long
mhm.
contract? So that's like pretty unethical. Typically we like to keep like, I can only speak for myself, but we will never push a person to be in like a year-long contract
Mhm.
that will potentially stifle them. So usually it's like month to month or 3 months, quarter by quarter is a good one.
So when someone signs y'all up to do the stuff for them, right? What can they expect from y'all? Like,
It depends on the site, if they have existing site or if they have existing content. But typically we like to work with like companies that have a little bit of an established stuff, because then they have a bigger budget, and they also have more of a time frame,
mhm,
longer time frame. They have other stuff going on, like marketing channels, like social media or YouTube or something. So what we will do is we will look at like the top performing content and then update it. We'll trim some of the poor performing content, consolidate some of the content that might be competing. We will help repurpose some of that top content, update it. We have a super extensive like 22 step updating process that typically takes like averages around like 5 hours per page.
mhm,
Um, Also, we talk with the internal sales team, like what is the most profitable service that you
mhm,
offer, and who's like your best customers, like who's your like
mhm.
what is the patterns of the customer base that you enjoy working with, and what are your most profitable services, and then we will prioritize that um, for content. So if you don't, like, sometimes people don't even have necessarily that like specific page on their site, this service that's like the most profitable. It'll be like an offshoot. And so make sure that you have like a specific service page, and then you have lots of supporting content about that, and all linked together.
So how you do this, right? Like, it's like suppose you have a customer, right? And you recommend they do 10 things and you do none of them, right?
It's normal.
Okay.
It's normal, but it's a challenge. But um, like I've had it such where it's like I was more consulting, but they wouldn't get the content created,
Mhm.
like, or like at that particular time it was quite busy for their business. It's like, okay, do you want help?
Mhm.
Like sometimes you can offer help, upsell, or even in good faith, good
Mhm.
gesture, like
And then like, how do y'all figure out your pricing? Like, of course, don't tell me the deal. So like, how do y'all figure your pricing for a customer? Is like,
depends on like how much work they want, what they need. If it's like content updates, then we can like have a set number of deliverables. Like we will update this number of pages per month. First, you need to do an audit of all their content. So generally that would depends on the size of the site, but you can like go through every single page on their site. If it's like an e-commerce site, that's millions of pages. So I've luckily never experienced that myself, but yeah, so it really, I hate to say, because this is like a cliche
Yeah, I mean,
that it
everyone said it,
depends,
yeah.
but like I really, that's one of the
But I'm
things.
sure I have some kind of process to decide how you do the pricing. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and it's generally based on deliverables that we can provide. That's one of the things though that we're really focused on is like having a productized service. So instead of like having like changes every customer, um, niche down on a specific niche, and you have a productized service. So one of the things that we specialize in is content audit and content updates. So we help give better results from the content that I already have. And this, I haven't quite nailed down how or the process, but I do believe this could be a productized service. So that's one of the fun little.
Are there any marketers out there that you follow that you're like, okay, this guy's pretty good?
For sure. So I mentioned this course, SEO Blueprint. There's this guy, Glenn Aldop. So he's like one of the boys in terms of he's not like a big self-promoter. He doesn't need this. He's like really behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure I've never even seen what he looks like. So he's just like, and he just like offers like really high quality stuff. And the thing with marketers, especially somebody who if anybody like says that they're a marketer, you have to be very careful the difference between what they do and what they say. Because like maybe they say one thing, like, oh, you have to create all this blog content, but you see that they keep producing video content. So it's like, well, what's this? So you're doing video content because you know that has more of a moat that's more sustainable for the future, but you're promoting people who have a blog, so it's like you have to be very careful. And then the other thing is big believer, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if people are producing crap content or crap design, etc., chances are they're not good at what they do.
So you talked about this some earlier, but like, what do you do for fun?
Oh, I have a great family and a great group of friends, and I'm surprised sometimes how many great friends I've met here, and so I like to hang out with them. I like movies, I like books, I like going to like working out. One of my favorite things is kind of like cheesy, and like I think like people are always shocked is like I have like a picnic blanket and my motorbike, and so anytime I want, I just go to this park and I lie alone. People are like creep, like people walking by like what the fuck? Play catch with my family, like baseball, football, yeah, random stuff, go on trips.
So let's suppose like someone's gonna come visit you, right?
Yeah.
But they've never been here before. Talk about what things you have them do, what things would they go see.
Depends on the guy. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
If he's a kind of a sleazeball, I'm gonna take him to like some party area.
Yeah.
With love, not I don't mean derogatory sleazeball. I mean like good one of the boys. Yeah, but there's a lot of beautiful stuff. There's a place that I would like to take you at some point. There's a countryside area in the city right across the river here, Bincoy, very beautiful. Good question. See all the typical landmarks, like the typical tourist stuff. Then I would take them like various restaurants and bars just for fun.
Yeah, one thing about this place is it's polluted, but I found so many got great parks that's like random parks everywhere, right? And they're like, man, this is nice.
Man, one of the things that I would like to do, I haven't done it, but I did this for my birthday last year was I got a group of friends together at Landmark Park, and we just like played together. You know, we had like drinks, and we just like played football, baseball. Now we have like badminton in the mix, but I would like that to become more of a recurring, like monthly or bi-monthly networking. So, because I got like a lot of people messaging being like, wow, that was a lot of fun. I can't believe it. Because typically it's like networking events at a bar or a club. And that's like pretty basic standard.
That's one thing I want to try to do for our leave. I want to try to do some kind of networking event for all the people I met on the podcast, these random people I met,
Great.
you know. Yeah,
I should do it at Landmark.
Yeah, I need to try to do something.
It's free. And bring your own BYOB.
This always helps.
Yeah.
Free.
And BYOB.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you just have like a picnic blanket. You have a bunch of, you know, people mingling together. And it's it just stands out in your mind because it's like you haven't done that. Usually it's like, you know, you go to basic networking events. It's like, oh, it's some rooftop bar and friggin' D2. It's like, okay.
The music's too loud.
And it all mixes together in your mind because it's the same.
Yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah. We do something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your goals for yourself, either professionally or personally?
I'm a pretty, I don't know, just to be truthful, I don't often like think about my own personal stuff. As long as my family happy and healthy, that's like it sounds like not cool, but I just want my family to be happy and healthy, and so I'll just do whatever it takes, you know. So I have to work hard, you know, continue to hustle in order to do this, and ideally would like to continue the lifestyle that I have, like very free, you know, digital nomad, but mostly based here. And yeah, you know, one day have a nice family. And
so what's the day in your life, right? Like, I'm guessing you wake up at 9 in the morning, have a coffee at 9:30, have a beer at 11 o'clock, fast at 1 in the afternoon, then an email at 2.
No, I'm actually kind of like I'm like a worker. So like I've been working since I was 11. And so when it's, you know, even if I have nothing to do necessarily, if I have nothing to do, I'll wake up at like 8. But if I have stuff to do, I'll wake up around 7. And then I'm a little bit of a slow starter, granted, even if I do wake up, but then I'll get to work. And I'll like, first thing for sure, have a coffee, then I'll work. My whole life I've had like an issue with like kind of pissed me off that you have to stop to eat. You know, it's like I wish I could have like an IV bag that would just like give me all the nutrients I needed. So I'll just like work on random stuff.
How do you prioritize stuff?
That's a great question. That's sometimes a little bit of a challenge because it's easy to get like into the details, into the weeds, especially like I typically am kind of like a systems guy. So I like to like create systems, but I am also kind of like a prick when it comes to quality. So it's like I like to have a team of people that I can rely on, but sometimes I feel like I have to do quite a bit myself. Not micromanage, but sometimes I'll just be like, I'll do it. And it's like, so this is a challenge that I've had. So sometimes I have difficulty with prioritizing because it's like I should be doing the high level stuff, but sometimes I'll get stuck in the details, in the weeds.
So I'll make this up. Like, suppose you have a priority list of things 1 to 50, right? And like every day you knock out 1 through 10, right? But you notice like there's like number 46 has been there for like 2 months, right? It has not moved, right?
Yeah.
Do you say, okay, it might have been important in the past, but I need to take it off now? Or do you think, okay, I put it there for reasons to stay on there?
I might set aside a specific day. Like, okay, in the morning, I'm going to tackle this, you know, if it's important.
But it's 46 though. So how important can it be?
Yeah. It's true. Or can outsource it. You know, like, so yeah, like you say, if it's number 46, it's not that important. It doesn't need my technical or my exact expertise. I can just get somebody to.
And you and your brother, your co-owners of the company, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother and his wife.
Okay, so 3 of you.
Yeah. Well, I'm more technically like a director.
Okay.
So not technically a co-owner,
Okay.
but the brains behind it.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
So let's fast forward. We'll say December 2025. What needs to happen for us to say, okay, 2025 was a good year for your company?
I think like having a nice, it's, I'm conflicted because part of me, uh, like I have an agency, so it's like you have a nice stable of clients. But for me to be truly happy, it would be I have a productized service in place where it almost uh runs in the background. You know, like I am working on it if there's ever any issues, but um that would be the dream for me.
So let's say there's a young person out there, like, let's say there's a young person or someone who gets into marketing.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them?
I would be, it depends on what you want to do, but for sure, like people will potentially not give you um pay. You know, so it's like I would try to work for either the best high quality company possible, you know, so you can work with somebody who's like really smart and then like learn from them. Or I would do start something on my own on my free time while I do the other stuff that I have to for money. But it would be like, you know, it's like build a website, build a YouTube channel, something where you can get actionable like insights into how the actual process is. And there's a ton of free resources. It might be difficult, like given the language barrier, but at least in English, there's a ton of free resources online where you can learn this stuff. HubSpot, there's a, in terms of SEO, there's a website called Builder Society, and there's a like a, it's kind of like I think it might be kind of like Reddit in a way, but there's like a thing that takes you like zero to hero in terms of like your marketing know-how in terms of SEO. So there's a ton of stuff, and so you have to be resourceful, but ideally, work for somebody who's really smart and is not going to be a pain in the ass and rude to you, and not take advantage of you, and start your own thing on the side.
Does your company ever provide internships?
We have not.
No,
No,
okay.
no. Typically, like I like to work with like vendors. I like to work with people that I know and trust will do a good job, and I am happy to pay them. You know, so like, um, I might be like the worst businessman in the world, but sometimes I'll give like a tip. You know, like you did a great job. Like here's a little extra, and like, oh, like, or like, why did you give me extra money? And it's like, oh, you know, you did a great job. But it's because it's like when you find a good person, it's like they, what I think, there's like four traits that I want on my team. It's like resourcefulness, attention to detail, integrity, which includes like work ethic, and reliability. Reliability is like one of the top ones, and that's like a trait that potentially not like learned. You know, it's like you're either reliable or you're not.
So we talked about your perfect customer earlier. Is there any industry that you would not work with?
I'm pretty shocked. Like I've worked with quite a few. Like even like software developers where it's like I don't know. I'm not a coder, but like find a way to make it work. Any particular industry that I don't want to work with? Adult or gambling. I don't want to work with gambling just for ethical purpose. Adult, I don't understand. There's like a different process and different
When you see a dog, you mean porno, right?
yeah. Or just like because
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, like I don't mean that from any ethical grounds, because that's like
That'd be crazy. Some OnlyFans person says, "Hey, do my marketing for me."
gladly, you know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it's like it's different than like gambling, say, where there's it's like something like adult is like a victimless crime in a way, and it's not even a crime, but like there's so much regulation around it, and I don't know it, and I don't care to learn it, but I know that it's just a different
Yeah.
process. So not even necessarily the actual video stuff, but like sometimes people will have like products uh in the peripheral of that industry. So stuff like this.
So I'm pretty sure you can give 100 answers to this, but talk about some of your favorite bars or places to hang out at.
Man, I think I'm not sure if I mentioned like sometimes I will go out with friends, but I'm not actually not a big drinker. And I actually didn't drink for like 10 years. So from like 17 to 27, then I worked for a company that you had to party basically. And that was cool. So that kind of got me back into it. But even then, like I'm not like a big bar guy. I would definitely go to Crescent Park. It's like near Crescent Mall in D7.
I've been there.
Yeah, so it's
That's
very,
where that bridge is at, right?
yeah, the bridge is there. They have
Yeah,
a very
I've been there a couple
beautiful
times. Yeah,
park.
it's very nice there.
Yeah, so this
Very
area,
nice.
I'd recommend going there. If you want to, like, like if you want to have some drinks or whatever, you can go to like 7-Eleven and bring it, if you
Way
want to go
cheaper.
slumming.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, but it's fun.
I mean, not saying it's not expensive anywhere here, really, but yeah, way
Yeah,
cheaper.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like more fulfillment.
Mm.
So that place. There's a place in D2 called Chang Vang. It's more like a local place. It's not really like it's on the other side of the highway, and it's like a rooftop, but you get a nice view of
Yeah,
nice view of
D2
the
definitely
city.
has a lot of nice rooftop bars in there.
Yeah. But this one is like right on the river, and it's a nice view of the Texaco and this area. So I would recommend this, or like great view of Landmark. Um, damn man, I'm sorry.
No worries. So, do you think like content market SEO will ever go away because of AI or anything like that, or it will
No,
always be?
because well, like I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but like this stuff needs to be trained on something.
Mm.
Like it's like there a new company is not going to be mentioned in a book, that like AI was trained on
Yeah.
a few years ago. And also the other thing is like you got to be careful on what the future of AI is trained on, because if it's trained on other AI stuff, quality is going to be shit. It's just going to be like regurgitating the same stuff. It's just going to be cannibalizing itself. So that's not my idea. I got that off a New Yorker article by a great writer called Ted Chiang, and he was like, it's like a Xerox copy, like AI ChatGPT is like a Xerox copy of information, and then when it like is trained on that, each time it gets shittier and shittier. So it needs to be trained on something. People need to produce content. And also it's like people do this might be like this might be more like personal and anecdotal, but there's a different sense of fulfillment creating AI content versus at least having some type of input into it. Like if you just outsource all your thinking and your creation to AI, you will not get the same gratification that you do if you actually put in time and effort into something. So I think like, and as a consumer also, it's like I don't want some robot telling me, like giving me a review of a company. I want to hear like another human. How do they feel? Like this is like marketing, like even like a court, even like a scammer, they're still providing like a sense of hope in the consumer. They're still getting some type of emotion. And I don't know. It's just not
So is it? I've heard that like as far as like the Google results, whatever, like if you're on page 2, might as well be on page 100.
yeah.
If you're not on page 1, but think about if on page 1, like 9% like ads, right? So how can you even be on page 1?
I know, but it like people, at the moment they have a sponsor tag, so people know that it's an ad, so they often, or like at least me, I'm pretty sure most people will just go past that and go for the organic. So if it keeps getting pushed down, then maybe page 2 will become the new page 1. And even like I mentioned it before, like the results on AI generally are based on what is ranking in SEO, like via SEO. So I don't know. And maybe it's like, maybe it evolves and it's not only Google, but there's like, maybe it also includes like YouTube and, Bing is still viable. DuckDuckGo, all these different
So
search
YouTube's
engines.
actually the number 2 search engine, right?
For
Behind
sure,
Google.
for sure. And like, so you have all this content, a company has all this content or all this idea. You have a video podcast,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and so you have like, you can see in your Google Analytics, like what articles are getting the most time on page and the most traffic. And then it's like, okay, I can make a video of this. Or I'm in HR, I can interview an expert in HR on a certain topic that people will likely
So
search.
that is one thing I want to do. It's like, you always have the list of things you want to do, but you never get to it, right?
Yeah.
One thing I want to do is like, I get all these newsletters, all these HR stuff all the time, right? It might be, hey, in the state of Washington, they're going to increase minimum wage like in 2 months, right? Like do like a quick 10-minute live, right?
Yes.
Hey, in the state of wherever they're doing this,
Perfect.
you need to do that, right?
Yes.
But
And that would be a good newsletter. That would be a good social media content. And yeah, could be in video format.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to do.
The thing, like, typically I promote doing like, so this is good for social media and whatnot. When it comes to YouTube and SEO, typically I like to promote people doing evergreen stuff. So it's like you do it one time, maybe you have to go back and later in the future to tweak it and update it, but it's not going to be outdated.
Yeah.
That's
one thing about the podcast too. Like it's always evergreen, right? Like,
yeah.
Because I make all these 1-minute clips and stuff. For me, like for example, this podcast, I'll see like 45 1-minute clips, right? And like when I post it, that first like 14 days, I'll post your clips for 40 days.
Yeah.
And maybe 3 months later, I'll post another clip and tag in, right? You're like, you probably forgot me after 3 months. Oh shit, Jason, Jason.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about Jason. Then maybe, knock on wood, at that time you oh man, this guy connect with Jason, so yeah.
Exactly. No, it's perfect. So yeah, and like even myself, I typically consume video content. I know from experience and I know from looking at analytics that people do consume written content on blogs, like business blogs and whatnot. But personally, I never.
Yeah,
I'm always like video.
Read.
But the funny thing about the difference between video and reading is that, like, let's say you have a 5-minute clip, I don't know what to click to. I might have to like put on like a playback speed of 1.5, but it might actually be faster to read it.
Yeah,
because then I can just skim it and just be like, okay. So there is still a place for reading, and people have been reading forever. I read to this day. It brings me great sense of I feel like I'm smart.
So I'm gonna ask you this already, but what do you see as a feature of SEO and content marketing?
It's like AI, video,
okay.
Like using AI, and like more. I hear it. Maybe it's just because of my bubble or whatnot, but I do hear that people are increasingly searching for stuff on AI, Search GPT or Perplexity. So that's definitely the future, but it's like all of this stuff is gamified. So people are going to find a way to appear. So companies need like SEO type stuff, but for AI.
So for a business owner, like, I don't know, like startup, small business owner, or anyone established, what percentage of time do you think they should spend on all this kind of stuff?
For marketing?
Yeah.
I think quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a bit. And but it does depend on the niche. So sometimes people don't even need a website. Like I saw something recently. It's like the Coca-Cola website is like trash. And it's like people aren't Googling like best soda beverage. Like they don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're kind of established. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like stuff like this, like, or like there's certain industries where people are not likely going to be searching it on Google, but like B2B, something like this, people will search for it. And my apologies, I'm trying to remember the exact question, but I think it was like, how much time should business owners
spend on it?
I think one of the things you should, as a business owner, consider is just like, who's my target audience, and like what are they like likely to be searching, and then make sure you have this on your site. So like if you do have a website and it's like that people will be searching for this stuff, on Google or AI, make sure that your site is structured in a way that people and crawler, like search engine crawlers, can understand.
How important or how important for people to like know how to use it, go to analytics, right? Like so like a small business owner to be able to go to analytics. Okay, I had like 100 visitors yesterday. They came from this place, or like.
I think it doesn't, yeah, like it is helpful to know where they went,
Mhm,
but I think like the most important thing is like where do they like how many people are contacting me?
mhm,
How many people are going through my contact
yeah.
form and where are they coming from? You know, so it's like um let's say you're a business owner and you have a bunch of different pages and it's like a small thing, but I've noticed it helpful is just like have a contact form at the bottom of
Mhm,
each page, because then you will know, okay, this page converted this
mhm,
many number of
mhm.
people on this month.
Is there like a standardized like average um, contact rate or like engagement rate?
Yeah.
Like suppose like you had 100 visitors, if only one paid your shit, it's like that's a bad, right?
Yeah, I would say. I don't know. I don't know like a standard thing, but probably it's to be true, to be fair, it is probably around like 1%,
Mhm,
2%. That's why I generally say like your traffic does not matter.
mhm,
Like the traffic is like a vanity metric,
mhm,
but the more traffic you have, that 1% equals more
mhm,
money, more
mhm,
contact form responses. So if you have 100 people, you have one. If you have 200 people, you have two,
mhm.
you know?
Yeah, because I know like open email rates are like pretty low right now, right? Like if you have like 25% open email rate, that's actually pretty good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially click through.
Mhm,
I mean, it used to be like I used to when I was in PR, we would have like blast out emails and it would be like 50% open rate.
mhm,
And apparently that even then that was that good. It
mhm,
was like, damn. So but yeah, like there are always tweaks that you can do. And like so the thing about SEO in particular, again, I don't want to like identify myself as like an SEO expert because I'm or even a marketer.
mhm,
It's like because those types of people are typically have a bad rap,
mhm.
and it's just not my kind of people. But if you were creating like if you were a business owner and you're trying to get customers, you just create stuff that your target customer can consume and can learn more about you and stuff that was valuable to them. And then as long as it is like structured in a way that a Google crawler can also understand, you will generally get good results. So like you don't have to do everything just to appease an algorithm. As long as people are consuming your stuff, and there's always things you can do to improve engagement, make it more personable, you know.
So do you think ChatGPT is gonna take the place of Google as far as people doing searches on it?
Could be, could be. Man, I tell you, I am not like I like AI, and I think it's like important to know how to use it. But what's that guy's Sam Altman?
Mhm.
He's another one where it's just like there's just something about you, man. Like if you do everything for money, and you don't care about like you're taking like you're wiping out like all these industries. It's just not a good guy.
Yeah, one thing I like about ChatGPT, like if you put like Google blah blah blah, it gives you like all the results,
Yes.
right? ChatGPT gives you one result.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to come over. And it just changes. You just have to like change your strategy. So
Mhm.
it's not like you're saying like, what is HR? You don't have to worry about this. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about spending time creating
Mhm.
content like this.
Yeah, I'm definitely learning how to use that more and more. Like, like you said, the more detailed you are, the more this, more that, like marketing plans, sales plans, but the more detailed the better, of course,
Yeah. Yeah. I would I took a look at your site. I would be happy to like give some like very
Yeah,
specific actionable
yeah,
pointers.
yeah,
No worries.
cool.
Um so yeah, I think the like worst case, I will just live on a farm
Mhm.
and work outside like I've always loved. You know, so like if there is like a serious revolution
Mhm.
in technology and there
Mhm.
is no marketing or
Mhm.
anything, like no problem,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's a very good point. They talk about like AI knocking all these jobs, right?
Yeah.
Like, so what are people going to do? Are we going to give them UBI, universal basic income,
Who
or like,
knows? But that's like I'm a huge believer that like people need to do stuff.
yeah, like you have some kind of self worth too.
Yeah,
I mean, we both know people like are lazy as fuck. They drink beer
they're
all
not
day,
happy though.
$4,000 a month.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be happy. I think there'll be a lot of like mental illness
Yeah,
issues if they don't have some, if they're not doing something like producing something. Again, like I think potentially because I studied anthropology, but and like I just think like there's something ingrained in human nature that like just loves to do
here's something
stuff.
for you. So all this new things coming, right? Like putting.
Yeah,
So do you think we're the last generation of actual humans? Like think
could be.
next generation,
Probably
like
not the probably not the last, but
the,
potentially in our lifetime.
like people like changing out robotic arms and stuff, changing out neural links and stuff.
My
Like
God,
more like
imagine.
Android like versus human like.
My God, imagine. Like our grandkids are like, you're an idiot. Like
Mhm.
you don't know this. You don't
Yeah,
have access to all this
I know,
information.
right?
Could be.
Matrix comes for real.
My God,
Another thing
imagine.
with AI, I know AI came out. Everyone said, "Oh, AI is going to take all the low level jobs out, right? Like like janitor and stuff." But people don't realize, right, is like it's actually taking out all the junior developer jobs.
Exactly.
So like in Seattle, so like 5 years ago, was a network event, and someone would say, "Is anyone looking for a job? Any software developer for a job? No one looking for a job."
Yes.
What company? Like 25 companies. Yeah, we need 10 this, 10 developers. Now it's switched. Now there's literally 20, 30, 40 people, developers, junior developers can't find a job. Like
I know. It's
there's stories
insane.
of like people master degree from Cal Tech and like University of Berkeley and Harvard. I can't find a job because I mean like Mark Zuckerberg, your favorite guy again,
Yeah.
is getting rid of all the mid level to juniors
Yes.
for AI.
So they're not going to get the experience to reach that other level.
Yeah.
And even then, like probably this year, they'll probably release a next level of AI
Yeah.
that will take out those people. But I have heard good things from like I have friends who are programmers,
Mhm.
and I also have a friend who manages like 50 programmers,
Mhm.
and he was saying that he he was testing his team against a well-known AI coding
Mhm.
platform called Cursor,
Mhm.
and he was saying that it's just not the same level. It's
Yeah.
not as good. But who knows?
Yeah.
Within
I
within
mean,
this
the more
year,
AI learns and does
yeah,
stuff, yeah.
probably like within like the next few months, it'll be drastically
Yeah.
better. So I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted with AI, to be truthful. Like, because I think it has a lot of incredible things,
Mhm.
incredible applications, and it's great. But I do personally think there should be government regulation for how companies use it.
Yeah, bad thing was back that, like if text that, like 2025 government is still back in 1975.
Exactly. And so these people are just like, and now it's like two people on like the most important
Yeah,
platforms for like most people, at least for news. Like most people don't read the news. I think it's like most people get it on like Facebook.
yeah,
So it's like this, and so this guy Zuckerberg like has so much power,
mm,
and Elon's got the other power, and I don't think it's potentially a good thing.
yeah. I know talking about the government, like I don't think I've ever been more embarrassed as an American citizen as when the tech stuff, all the US
Yeah.
senators and congressmen like asking dumbass questions like, could
Yes.
you just ask your page, your intern could easily ask these questions for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was such embarrassing as American, right? How this congressman like, yeah,
It's amazing how old they are.
yeah,
They're like everybody,
you
you know.
know,
It's like even Trump, you see him,
mhm,
he's like drastically older than he
yeah,
was. He's like,
yeah,
what is it?
like 78, 77.
Wow,
He's up, yeah,
77.
yeah.
That's so
But he's still pretty quick.
yeah, he is. He's
It's,
I'm sure he's funny.
he's good. Yeah. Like I was at a news conference maybe a couple of weeks ago, and he called this lady, news reporter, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't think you'd ever, I was surprised. I didn't think you'd calling me. I didn't know, or I didn't know, right?"
Yeah.
He said, "That's your problem. You never know anything.
Oh
But I
yeah.
decided to call you anyway." I mean, it's like bam, just
It's
like
just a
that.
troll. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, he's a master troll.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, like it's funny, no worries. But as long as like a lot of people don't suffer as a
Yeah.
result, but I mean, it's like it is objectively funny.
Yeah.
Some of the
And
stuff
of
they
course, the worst case scenario, the AI robots take over, and enslave all of us, and like,
yeah. And I wonder, like, who knows? Maybe AI could could be a better
mhm.
leader
Yeah, I
in terms
mean,
of government because no ego.
yeah. Someone talked about that one time, like, dude, we be better off the AI president, right?
Maybe.
Versus a human who's fallible,
Could
who's
be. Yeah,
emotionally,
exactly. Super, super. And like even just to get in the job, like that's why I'm like a kind of like a liberal, moderate, like but left-leaning
mm,
guy. But it's like even to do that job, you have to be so egotistical
yeah.
and like just yeah, just ingenuous.
That, I mean, I think you have an ego because you can't be, I mean, how to put this, like, you have to have self-confidence. You have to think about, even if you win, 49% of the country thinks you're a jerk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so,
And even then it's like 50%. So like 50% of people vote,
mm,
isn't it? So
yeah,
it's like, and
yeah.
then like the first one, like Trump won like what 30 or 40%.
Hmm.
So it was like that's like I'm not good with math. That was like 15%
Yeah,
of the
most people don't
country.
vote. Yeah, most people don't vote. Yeah.
So but still very
Yeah.
confident.
I remember Biden when the joke was, yeah, more dead people vote in Chicago than alive people.
Oh my God. Is
Yeah,
it true?
probably who knows, you
Wow.
know.
But still like very optimistic
Mhm.
in the future. Like there is like a fair amount of worries,
Mhm.
but I think like a fair amount of it is potentially just like media
Oh yeah,
propagating
yeah,
stuff, fear mongering
yeah.
because it gets clicks.
And the thing about tech, I don't think people realize how fast it's advancing. Like me, I've gone from Pong to fucking AI in less than 50 years, right?
Exactly.
And it's gonna probably there's something called like I forget it's called, but tech advances like double every 18 months, right?
For
It's gonna
sure.
keep it doubling and doubling, like before you know it, like we have a implant that automatically translates language or something, right?
Exactly. Oh my God, that'd be wonderful.
And one thing that kills me too, like you have all these people like on the news and stuff, oh, we're living the worst times ever.
My goodness,
Do you
insane.
remember the Black Plague?
Yeah, exactly. Like
You remember like, all this shit in the back, like World War One, trench warfare.
exactly. So this is like I don't watch the news because like on a macro level, on every single metric, there's a book, Factfulness, I go into this, and every single metric,
Yeah, way
we're
better.
way better than we
I
used
mean,
to
as
be.
far as health, not
Yeah.
getting sick, I
Yeah.
mean,
Infant mortality rate,
yeah.
like most, like there were like what, 1 or 2 generations ago, like everybody's kid died at least once.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I had a lot of kids.
Yeah,
You had
exactly.
10 kids and maybe five lived.
Yeah. So you never have to deal with this. I think the problem in the West is people are too comfortable.
Yeah, I believe that too.
So they're too comfortable. They have like
Making shit up to complain about.
yeah, just you need something. You need like something to stress about.
Yeah. I realized like electricity, hot water, that recent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty recent, right?
It's especially here.
Mhm.
Pretty sure my girl got like electricity in her lifetime. She's
Mhm.
like mid-20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so her family is like has gone from like technically like Stone Age
Mhm.
to friggin' Wi-Fi, you know?
That's the thing too. I think Vietnam, I mean, maybe it does, but like Vietnam, that war ended in 75 for America.
Yeah.
I think they went to war with Cambodia, China in 79. And so you think about in
Pretty cool.
40 years, like, damn, like
Yeah. And
they've done some shit.
they've done a lot of cool stuff. And I'm pretty sure they took down Pol Pot's.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Vietnam was the one.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, you're killing all these kids and people can't be doing
That
that.
was horrible. Yeah.
Horrible. And so it's like and and so even in like even regionally,
Mhm.
Vietnam is like way better,
Mhm.
way more developed than Cambodia,
Yeah.
Laos, any of this other stuff. And it's like
So Vietnam's like
people are great.
hot spot right now, right?
Yeah. And like you just yeah, we mentioned it before, but it's just like the development is so rapid.
Mhm.
And like on an interpersonal level, like because of the internet, there's like a global culture
Mhm.
almost where like you talk to like young Vietnamese people, they consume the same stuff as us. They know about the same stuff. Luckily, they don't. Like I was asking my girl and her friends, like, do you know like Hak Tua?
Mhm.
And she was like, no, what's that? I was like, oh man, amazing, cool.
Man.
You don't know about this.
Yeah, man. She just like,
So there's benefits.
yeah, I guess she got scammed or something. She was part of a scam, that
Hak
crypto
Tua?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think she got
Hopefully,
scammed.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's like it was a fault. They try to blame her. Yeah. They try to, yeah, that's bad.
Not, she probably doesn't know anything.
No.
You know, what is she like 22 or something?
Yeah,
So I
22.
can't blame her.
Yeah.
Blame that,
The
the
scumbag.
scumbag crypto prick that got her into it.
You get a Hawk Tuah coin and make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then rug pull is a scammer. So personally, I got a backpack stolen in a
Mhm.
train. So I hate with all of my fibers of my body, thieves and
Mhm.
scammers. So I just can't. But anyways, sorry.
No worries, no worries. So this is a question I ask a lot of people, right? So you had a choice. You can go 500 years in the future or 500 years in the past, or stay here. Which one would you do?
Man, that's a great question. I would potentially stay here.
I would too.
Yeah.
So why not the future or the past?
Future, you never know. And it's like, who knows?
Might be Mad Max, Mad Thunderdome.
Could be Mad Max Thunderdome, or it could be like just like a hospital, where like everything's clean and
Or you
like
come here like
crap.
big sign, we're all went to Mars.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like I don't want to live on Mars.
Mhm.
I mean, I love space stuff, but I don't want to live on
Mhm.
Mars. It looks like crap. And 500 years in the past, it depends. But it depends on where you are and where you are. But like I think about like a thought experiment, like the number of people that probably lived on a farm with their family,
Mhm.
and then like a group on horseback came up, killed their whole family right in
Mhm.
front of them. And that was the end of their
Yeah.
life. That's probably happened to like 25% of
Yeah.
people in history.
Yeah. I don't think we're better to go 5 years in the past. First of all, the diseases,
For sure.
the no
Dirt.
electricity,
Yeah.
dirt, like say
Sucks.
random robbers coming with a sword cutting your head off,
Exactly.
like
Like you have like King Tut or all these like people who are like the wealthiest people throughout history, and they never had an iPhone. They
no.
could never like watch Haktua on their phone.
Yeah, like imagine like how did the Roman Empire rule the empire as big as it was, right? You send a message like took
So
like
cool.
months to go there and get back.
That was apparently a problem for them.
Mhm.
But I personally, and I'm sure you do as well, but I love reading and learning about history.
Yeah, I'm a big Roman history buff.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roman history is really interesting. And also Genghis Khan.
Mhm.
Super, super cool. But I do not want to live there. Like I used to, growing up, I used to be a big Western guy. I used to love, like, I used to think like I was born too late. Should have been like a cowboy. Should have been a rancher.
Jesse James,
Yeah,
sidekick.
exactly. But it would have sucked. If
Yeah.
you ever look at like Deadwood or any of this stuff is like more realistic about that time,
Yeah.
that would suck.
Going Dave, no shower.
Yeah, or just like, yeah, it suck. Super, super racist, all kinds of bad stuff going on. And yeah, so now we live in the future already,
We do.
So it's like can't complain. People that do complain, sometimes sometimes they have good reason to complain, but they also have the opportunity now to move.
Yeah.
So they can move to a country like here and then slowly build their way up. But it's possible for sure.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like if you move for a month, I can tell you the most expensive thing about living here for a month would be your plane ticket.
Exactly. Exactly. Especially with like Airbnb or something. And like with Airbnb, you can probably like rent it for like a week and then like get the owners like WhatsApp and be like, hey, I want to get a little something.
Yeah.
Get like
I mean, worst case scenario, like you drink, like wake up in the morning, I'll get a cup of coffee and a pineapple juice, like 30,000.
oh my God, it's insane. Yeah.
Get a big plate of chicken and rice for 50,000. That's like $2,
Exactly. And then like in the West, it's like, oh, I gotta go through a drive-through and get Starbucks
Yeah.
for like probably like $7.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for coffee when I back to the States, right? I'm gonna have to have like someone
Bring tons. You should bring a suitcase back
I need
of
to.
coffee
Yeah.
here. Have you gotten adjusted to the strength of the coffee here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you? Are you like a black coffee?
I've been doing the ice milk coffee since I usually do.
Great.
I usually do black coffee in the States.
Yeah.
Maybe cream and sugar or somewhere. I've been doing ice milk coffee here. It's like addictive.
So good. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. How many do you do a day?
Oh man, usually 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah.
Or
And things like it's so small too, right? You feel
Exactly.
the cup like what can I do with this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like
You do ice?
yeah, I do ice.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So you drink it like first I like drink it real fast, like then oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, you build up your tolerance. Yeah, exactly. And I wonder what it's going to do to our hearts.
Yeah.
But lived a good life, so live fast, die young. No worries.
So what's your plan for Ted? You gonna go to your girl's house or
Yes, she has a nice farm. She has a farm outside of the city, like like an hour and a half, 2 hours outside. It's a cashew and rubber farm, and so it's like surrounded by tree. It's like an inside of a forest. I freaking love it. It's like
So you live in Hanoi for 2 years, right? You said?
yeah,
Is there a big difference between like North and South Korea?
Super different.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very different. Here is really westernized,
Mm,
and the North is not.
mm,
Um, but at least from like a an outsider foreign perspective who granted doesn't speak the language, so I am quite ignorant with most things. I do appreciate the culture in the North potentially more than here because it's like they have a really strong family.
mm.
Family is super important. In the North, it's like super polluted in Hanoi. And I would always ask my friends, like, why do you stay here? Like, this place is very dirty and polluted. And they'd be like, oh, I have family here.
Mhm.
And then also, it's like the family eats together at least one meal a day, which I think is really valuable and good. Um, and just like more upfront, just like if you can take constructive criticism, it's like place to be.
I've heard that. I've heard that like they're
Super
yeah, they're like,
upfront and blunt.
there's no
Yeah.
sugarcoating.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if there's something in the water or something. Everybody's on the spectrum, but
There's
it's
no like that's a great job, or it's like, no, you fucked this up. You
yeah.
suck.
Um, like yeah. So if you get ripped off or something, you'd be like, I'm ripping you off, and just staring you in
Yeah.
the face. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, fuck. But it's I respect this and I appreciate this more than the
Yeah.
alternative. So I like that.
And how close is it to the China border?
Uh, it's it's Hanoi.
Yeah.
It's I forget, but I went to Hayang Loop or
Mhm.
whatever. I seem to remember it being pretty far.
Okay. Okay. I thought it was like closer.
I think it's quite far.
Okay.
Same with Canada.
Mhm.
Like it used to be the capital. It used to be kind of close to America, but they moved it, so it's like at least like 5-6 hour drive.
Okay.
Um, but the other thing about the North is like incredible nature.
Mhm.
So like
And plus, they have 4 seasons too, right?
yeah, 4 seasons.
Does it snow up there?
It does snow in Sapa. I've
Okay.
seen it snow.
Okay.
And but like the thing with the major benefit for Hanoi for me was besides the people, I mentioned I really appreciate the people, but they have a national park just outside the city, about like an hour outside. So take a day trip, go up there. Incredible, called Bavi. Really beautiful for personally, but
And you did that, I think called Hang On Loop. What is it called?
yeah, Hazang Loop.
You did that loop.
Yeah.
What's the big deal about that? I see people going around this big ass circle, right? Like, what's the
No, I mean it's just like beautiful. It's not that specific. Like,
yeah?
that's probably like for pictures,
Okay.
but it's very beautiful scenery.
Okay.
And it's right on the border with China.
Okay.
And so I can share some pictures
Okay.
later, but it's really beautiful. Granted, I did it with my whole family and we were in a car, so it was different. And
Okay.
it was like really
I'm talking about the one with like on scooters and mopeds.
yeah. And people go like this, and you can't even do it with a regular moped. You need
Okay.
to do it with like a motorcycle.
Okay.
I have a buddy. If you ever, I would love to introduce you. I hope he comes back to Saigon. But he lives like kind of close to Moy Nang. He's another American guy who does SEO and online marketing. But he one of his side hustles is like takes people on like photograph trips
Mhm.
up north and goes
Okay.
to the Haiyang Loop, and his pictures are incredible.
Yeah.
Sapa and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, it's just very beautiful naturally. I would definitely recommend going. You probably won't be as comfortable. The other thing, personally, I used to get sick all the time in the north.
Mm.
Just like food
All
poisoning.
the stuff. Oh, okay.
Food poisoning. I would get food poisoning
of-
literally every month.
Okay.
So I'd
Because
be
of
like,
hygiene and stuff like that.
I think so.
Or not-
Maybe I think it's probably changed, but like every meal is like, okay, I'm like part of my brain was like, oh, I might get sick.
Mhm.
I might get so yeah, it's just like it's different. When you go there, you do notice that like it's a little bit less developed. But in the past 10 years, holy crap, it's changed.
And Hanoi, that's the actual capital of Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, great. I really appreciate the people. Some of the best people I've ever met, for sure, 100%.
Besides your brother, do you have any other mentors?
It's a good question. I have like people that I like. Oh, of course, my father,
Mhm.
my mother, and I have people that I really
Good plug. Good plug.
yeah. No, but I mean like so those like the funny thing about I was very blessed to have my parents because like my mother's like a farmer, grew up on a farm,
Mm,
and my father's like a workaholic, and so he like taught me like my father like just by what he
mm,
does, never had like a sit down and talk about this stuff. It was like this is what a man does. This
mm,
man supports his family,
mm,
whatnot. My mother also worked, but she was like she was one of the boys, so
mm.
like she would like cook, clean,
Yeah,
but then like hang out with us,
yeah.
like joke around. So I like in a weird way, I always tell her I learned how to be a man from
Mm,
my mother,
mm,
and so I was very blessed to
yeah.
have this. So, but there are other people outside of my family that I look to that it's embarrassing to say, like Obama is one. I
Mm,
really like his story. He's
yeah.
like very just inspirational guy. Terry Fox is another. He's a Canadian hero.
Mm,
Um, but in terms of like mentor outside my family,
okay.
not really.
So second part, the more important part of the question, who are you mentoring?
Oh, I don't. I
Okay.
don't. Well,
Yeah,
I've
you should change that.
no, but I mean, I've had like people say like, thank you so much for all this and stuff.
Mm,
But not like I've tried it. I've tried teaching and stuff.
yeah,
I'm not a teacher.
yeah.
I'm friggin'
I
yeah,
mean, you don't have to be a teacher to be a mentor.
it's true. I've like I've had like teams. I've had like I've managed like dozens of
Yeah.
people. So I've had people like working directly with me and thank
Mm,
me and whatnot.
mm,
And it's nice, but I'm not that type of guy where I'm
okay.
like, oh, like I
Yeah.
need this. It's very nice to hear,
Mm,
but I would never like, I'm gonna mentor you.
yeah.
But if somebody needs help, happy to help.
Okay.
Always.
How many hours of work do you think you work?
Depends on how many clients I have.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm probably like 40.
40, okay.
Yeah, but if I have like more,
And you take like set vacations for the year or you just like wing it
no,
or
I basically totally wing it.
okay.
I'm like yeah, I'm not like a plan type of
Okay.
guy, but it is nice. My generally like it's good to be with somebody who has complementary
Mm,
traits. So like uh if we go somewhere, it'd be like there's an itinerary that we can or
mm,
can't follow. We don't have to follow it
yeah.
strictly, but here's
Yeah.
some
That's the worst.
TikTok.
You're out partying. It's like 1 in the morning. Don't forget, we're
Oh,
going to attend my hike at
I
6 in the
hate that.
morning.
So I will refuse. I've been on with this with like couples. You go on like a trip with couples. It's like, okay, we're gonna go take pictures at seven. No,
Yeah.
we're not. You can, but I don't think,
Yeah.
you know, you are not a friend of mine.
What's the next place y'all want to travel to?
Um, I would love to go to Korea.
Mm,
I think that looks kind of cool. Like naturally, it looks
mm,
nice. Japan
mm.
looks nice. But I would like to go to New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah, that looks freaking incredible. That looks like an alien version of Canada, you know? So that looks nice. Argentina, that was another place that I really wanted to go to. Been there. I
Mm,
was a little bit disappointed. Um, so yeah, I really recommend Bali,
mm,
and which is like a cliche, but
yeah.
it's like, like before you go there, you think like, oh, a bunch of just like expats gonna be
Mm,
really annoying. And there
yeah.
is that.
Yeah.
I've heard that like Australians are brutal there,
Mm.
but it's super incredible, at least in my experience. And then also this island off of Malaysia called Penang. Oh my God, it's incredible. It's like two-thirds of it is like a jungle,
Mm.
and we got lost in there last time. We like took a motorbike up there and just got accidentally lost, but it was like a couple best day of my life potentially.
So how long were you here before you decided to get a scooter and drive yourself around?
Oh, it was like a year. The first year I was like taking bus. I was taking a bus everywhere and walking everywhere. And at least in the north, like people are so rude when you're just walking on the, like people will just like drive right in front of you, your path of walking, and then just like, like I potentially don't have the patience for this type of behavior. But yeah, about a year.
Yeah.
And it changed everything. I really recommend it. It's really fun. Granted, I have heard stories of people getting in really bad accidents.
Mhm.
I've been quite lucky. I've had like accidents, but I've never had anything serious.
Mhm. So is there anything else that I asked you that I haven't asked you or anything else you want to talk about?
No, it's been great, man.
Okay.
Been really nice talking with
Cool.
you. I don't know how long, it's been quite a while, right?
A little over 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw your phone. It was like 3, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this went by very fast.
Yeah. Can you share your social media so people reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure.
Or
So
email or whatever you want them to contact you?
yeah, so there's Will James on Facebook,
Mhm.
Adventure Lifer on Instagram.
Mhm.
But I think if you want any questions or anything related to work, etc., you can do Will at 8bitcontent.com.
Okay. And so we talk about a lot of stuff. You got a lot of good value. But before we leave, can you give us any last minute wisdom or advice or anything you want to talk about?
I would, in terms of just like on an interpersonal level, I would say like don't get distracted by like media and social media and what you see. Like you should definitely just focus on yourself, focus on like improving yourself, improving the lives of your family. And you can do this by avoiding some of this stuff and focusing on learning new things, reading books, doing stuff that's good for you and not good for people that don't care about you or even know about you. So I don't necessarily have like some detailed technical advice to give you right now. I would just say this, like don't, because I've talked to people recently and they've been a little bit of a negative tone, and it's like, man, you got to be very careful what you consume, and like the f- the f- the framework of your thinking is very powerful. You got to be so careful. Don't be a victim. Some people are, but
Well, thanks for today. Really appreciate
thank
it.
you, man. Appreciate it.
And to our listeners, thank you for your time as well. Remember to be great.